What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's number one urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And the Facebook feed has been popping. Y'all, thank y'all so much, man. We're relevant. People all over the world are contacting us and sending us messages, talking about the Chop Shop, talking about y'all. He was talking about y'all, talking them people in them comments off the chain. But it's Monday, great Monday. If you can see, I'm in a boy, I'm in a great mood today. Great mood today. It's just a lot of great stuff. Great events this weekend. Saw some people I haven't seen in so long this weekend. I mean, oh my God, y'all. I'm gonna share some of that with you. Just great. I mean, I got a list of stuff to talk about here. But let me shout out to my starting five. They are the first five people who sign on to the Facebook or YouTube feed. They're D Holcomb. We got Alex Sestero. We got Rod Wales. We got Thaddeus Moody. And who is that? Melvin Dews. Melvin Dews. Shout out to Melvin Dews. Thank you for all your son. I saw Jimmy sent me the thing on your son. I'm gonna try to play it today, but for some the system is not as I won't be able to do it during the show because I don't want to hurt the show. But I'm gonna play it this week. But shout out to your whole family of Melvin Dews. I know y'all had tournaments up there this weekend. Shout out to y'all. Let me see who else I got. Who was my sixth man? Oh, my sixth woman is my favorite, Mindy Collins. My favorite person who admitted she only disagreed and don't like teams because I like them. I ain't never said that about. Yeah, I did. I said I don't really don't like the Astros called Jimmy and Mindy. You're right, Mindy. My bad, man. Yeah, you're right, Mindy. Okay, you're right. Daryl Anderson in the building. Let's see what's up, Todd? Where you been, man? Alpha Yo, what's going on, big fella? Marcus Johnson is in the building. Trap Sharp is in the building. Kevin Lewis, man. Brandy, y'all share the show right quick. Cause we got a lot of. What's up, Terrence Foley is in the building. Who else we got? Mark Edwards in the building. Shanquetta, where you been? Boy, look at Shanquetta, y'all. Got a little hairdo. She got glammed up. Her and my Tatum got glammed up. I love that kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Kevin Allen, the Silver Fox. Hey, y'all. I just had yes, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. Y'all know I got this affinity in this for Formula One racing. One of the most compelling races I ever seen in my short love of this sport and transforming, trying to do some business in this sport. I'm just not liking it as a sport. You know, when I find a little niche, I see where I can fit in that sport. Mike, what's up, Mike? I saw Mike over the holidays. Shout out to everybody, man. I mean, this was a great week. Look at Monte said she stay ready. She don't have to get ready. So let me got to talk about old Lewis. Y'all got to Google that. That race there had me mad, y'all. I mean, because they were trying to cheat, but boy, y'all got to understand he's the only guy that looked like us in that sport now. So they tried to get, in Saudi Arabia, yes. But the Saudis over there, they like it. It's the gritty win by Robert Reiser. See, Robert Reiser, I got a question. Think about this. Kevin Freedman watches F1 now because I shared it with him. Robert Reiser, you might, I don't know, did you just start watching or you been watching F1? I just want to know. But see how we affect each other? We affect each other. When I share something, I got some more stuff I got to share with y'all. When I share something with y'all, I want y'all to go out and check it out, man. It's y'all. I've happened to been to a couple of events. Let me tell you, ain't nothing like it. Formula One is nothing like hearing those race cars. And you know, and I done got so good, Robert Reiser, that I can turn my head and I know what car passing by. You got to realize it ain't but 10 teams. Okay, it's 10 teams and 2 drivers per team. So 20 grand. So I know the sound of the Honda car, the Mercedes car, the Alfa Romeo. I know the sound of the Ferrari. I know the sound of the Aston Martin. I know the sound of those cars. I know. Oh, he said it. What's up, Rick? I just want to know. Somebody said he been on. Yes, but the Netflix. Yeah, the Netflix article. Yeah, great documentary on Netflix. Oh my God! If y'all watch the Netflix on Formula One, unbelievable. But before the Netflix came out, I saw an interview with him and Gail King. And y'all, he's a great driver, but I love what he do. See there, Robert Risen. Thank you, Robert Risen. Thank you, man. Thank you. So, but it's a compelling story, man. Let me tell you something. I know y'all might think it's boring, but boy, let me tell you, whoo, it's unbelievable. What's up, Elliot Bill? But let me share a few things with y'all. I know Jimmy will be on in a second. Talked about a little. Y'all, I heard some stuff this weekend. You know, let me tell you what I did. Like I think on Thursday. Somebody said, "Man, meet me somewhere, man. Meet me somewhere." And I said, "Okay." I met him. I met him at Robert Young Salons, right? So let me show you who I met up there. I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna just show you how this started Thursday. I'm gonna show you how this how my day my week started off. Let me show you how my week started off. Y'all check that out, right? He was there. But what's so unique, y'all? This same man, I've been knowing for almost 30 years. I'm gonna show you something. I'm click something on the screen. That was us 30 years ago. This was us on Thursday night at Robert Young Studios. No, that's Shaq. That's Shaquille O'Neal. Santana ain't that damn taller than me. But y'all, just take a look, y'all. Young man on the set of Blue Chips. And almost 30 years later, I get to hang out with Big Fella again. It was just unbelievable, man. That that's almost 30 years. And look at us, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I didn't know he was coming to town. He just snuck to town, but he had a special thing to come to town. Because guess what? We wind up at the same place again last night, right? Special party last night. And you know the old man, you know the old man the old man put an outfit on y'all last night now. Don't forget it now. It was a black tie affair, but guess what? That's the Diesel. He don't have to wear a black tie. That's a friend of mine, Rock Anderson, Michael Anderson. Is it on the show? Man, we had so much. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, I got so y'all know. Let me tell you something. They got this machine at the party, and shout out to Arnetta. Happy birthday, Arnetta. Y'all, bro, great. Been on this show. She was on Women Rock Wednesday. She been on the show before, and she had this machine in her party, right? So the machine just go around and take little video of you, right? So I kept seeing people do it, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all don't like to do that. People watching me. So I waited till everybody was left. The dude said, "Come on, try it. Let's try it." And I got to show y'all. I got to show y'all. It was fun. Yeah, the machine spin. I never seen it before. Thank you, Todd. But this how they captured you. I wanted to share that with my people. I got to share that with my people today. Hold on. It's gonna. I had to share that with y'all last night, man. I could not go without sharing y'all. I had a great time at a 50th birthday party. And it was unbelievable. I went to another event first. I had to speak, and then I went by there, and it was crazy, man. I mean, I had a great time. Y'all, that's why I'm so upbeat today. Cause I've saw people that I haven't seen in a long time. Long time. See, they had, I didn't, y'all got to realize that's the first party that I've been to since the pandemic. Hey, Nishan, I really don't have to show that I be shy. You know, if you just follow me, go back and look at some of my old pictures on Instagram. The old man put an outfit. No, that wasn't velvet. That wasn't velvet. That wasn't velvet. It's too hot to have velvet on it. That was one of those wools. That was one of those super 120. Well, I don't know what kind of wool it was. It was super something. But shout out to CJ of CJ Custom Clothers, the guy who always make sure when I have a suit on, he is the guy that normally makes it, unless I just go somewhere and I see a Tom Ford suit and can get it off the rack. And yes, let me tell you something. Yeah, it was a great time. But y'all, let me tell you something. I'm just gonna throw some stuff out there. It might sound outlandish to y'all, but a source was telling me about it. I don't know if you know, what's the guy, Cooley, the coach from Prairie View, is leaving Prairie View going to Southern. So that leave the Prairie View job open. And I heard, what color were the shoes? Boy, Landon, I won. You got to understand. And Landon, just for you, Landon, I'm going to play a commercial and come back. A man's shoes are the most important thing. And Landon, just for you, I'll be right back. Don't you go nowhere.
How are you going to be on the stage? How are you going to get from off the bench to on the floor? If you love basketball, you got to be passionate about what you do. You can't just play just to play.
If you really want it, you'll need to make sacrifices. You'll face doubt. You will fail.
Landon at? Where Landon at? Landon. If you wear a tuxedo, you have to have the proper tuxedo shoe. And I'm glad you brought that up. Landon. Let me turn it to the side for you, Landon. Just in case you was wondering what Big Daddy had on last night. Hey, Landon, I don't play no games, Landon. Landon, you didn't hear me. Do me a favor, Landon. Go and Google CJ Custom Clothers. CJ, he not only gonna make your suit. He gonna get you about 3 or 4 shirts to wear with the suit, 5 or 6 ties to wear with the suit. He gonna get you the shoes to match your suit and the socks to match your suit. And he gonna fly to wherever you at and make sure it looks good on you. Black man, CJ Custom Clothing. You're telling Robert Hatter sent you, and ain't no telling what kind of a hookup you might get. One of the best young men, one of the best customer service men in the business. I didn't mean to do a commercial for him, but Landon, I'm glad you asked that question, because that people were asking me, dude, the shoes last night. Yeah. So enough about me. Landon, I got people texting. Landon, I got people texting people about me. Not about last night. I mean, I don't know what's wrong. Thank you, Jesus. Favor is on your life when people stop it, Nishan. When people talking about you, boy, that means it's favor on your life. So y'all tell them to keep talking. So let me say. So hold up, y'all. Let me get back. Landon, leave me alone. I got to talk. Landon, I found out that Vince Young might be interested in the Prairie View job. Landon, yeah, them pajama bottoms. Landon. Somebody else said, hey, Landon, this is just the sources, Landon. I don't know. Landon. He said Michael Vick might be for another job in this arena, in this area. I'm just telling you that he was talking about it. And guess what? Them young kids from Prairie View, I heard last night, played that game against Jackson State with mixed emotions and a heavy heart because they had already got wind that their coach was leaving to go into Southern. Should he have been allowed to coach that game? Because he had 1 foot in and 1 foot, well, he didn't have no feet in. I'm just asking. Hey, I love Kevin Frazier. Kevin Frazier said, you got to go back. I mean, and Landon, and Todd, you know I don't do nothing. Todd done seen me dressed up, but Landon ain't had a chance to see me. And Landon asked about the shoes. Man, let me tell you something. Them shoes ain't, boy, let me tell you something. Got to have the feet right. Hey, Reginald Simpson, every man know they got to have their feet right. The women look straight down at your feet. Women look, yeah. But think about it, y'all. Vince Young at Prairie View. Do y'all know how, if y'all think I clown and support, check this out. Deion the way I do, can y'all imagine if VY was the coach of Prairie View? How I'll be out there helping him recruit? Yeah, they look at them pretty teeth too, I know. Yeah. But that's unbelievable. But should that coach have been allowed to coach that game last night? I'm just asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. I'm just, y'all help me out. We can talk about that. Shout out to Jackson State. They won the SWAC. Shout out to Coach Deion. Shout out. Let me talk about my black coach colleges first, Kevin Jones. I got you. But let me talk about my, I got to talk about us first. Those other stations and those other shows, they gonna talk about them. I got to talk about these people here first. And but I throw it in there because Kyron Jones played for Baylor, wins the Big 12 championship. It's unbelievable. But I saw something, y'all, this morning. Money Mike mom, Tasha. Y'all tell Miss Tasha, I took one of her quotes off her page this morning. She said something. I've seen this quote a million times, but it touched me this morning, because when I hear people texting people about you that don't even know you. People texting and people about you don't even know you. Ain't never been to dinner with you, ain't never been nowhere with you, but people texting people about you, right? But check this out. She said, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Wow. I'm going to repeat that. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation merely is what others think you are. Unbelievable. Thank you, Tasha. I needed that this morning. It's crazy. It's deep. It's deep. PV is going to have a problem next year. CJ Herron, quarterback, went to Kansas, is not at PA set out this year. Not. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I got you. I don't know who CJ Heron is. But I got some more stuff I got to share with y'all. In 2021. No, thank you. Thank you so much, Tasha. Tasha. They tried to attack old Robert's character this weekend, Tasha. Some clowns I don't know. But I must be doing something. I'm gonna keep. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna turn it up, Tasha. You know how some people get mad. Man, he talking. No. I'm good. Keep talking about me. Keep talking about me. I'm keep getting blessings. Tasha, I wish you had been on the show earlier. Tasha, I keep getting blessed. Guess what? Shaquille O'Neal has said, man, whenever you want me on the Chop Shop, I'm there. So y'all get your questions for him. Hey, I'll get all your questions for him. And Herb, even more Herb. I'm getting texts. I was at the party last night. Hey, y'all know me. I don't like to take pictures. Right? So when I took that picture with Rock and Shaq, that's different. But other people come up and taking pictures with me, and then they posting the picture. Don't be posting no. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. If I take a picture of me, don't be posting no damn picture. I might not want nobody to know where I was. I'm getting called, heard. I'm getting texts from everywhere this morning. From people I don't even. Listen to me. No, Landon. Hey, Shaq Quarter, you see how I'm so happy. Y'all just don't know, man. It's a great weekend. When I'm seeing people I hadn't seen in years. Y'all know I haven't been nowhere during the pandemic. Great last night. Michael was there. Man. When I tell you, the food was great. Three little kitchens did the food. Steve McKinney, great friend of mine. Matter of fact, he has catered, and he came, like I had a fish fry one time. He said, no, I ain't gonna just fry. I'm gonna come. He fried the fish fresh in the backyard. All of my guests, fish, shrimp, and everything. Steve McKinney, 3 little kitchens. He the greatest customer service, unbelievable. See, look at Kevin Frankman. I saw on Facebook. I was like, how they gonna be hot? See that? Kevin Frankman saw me. Y'all got to realize, man. I ain't no stuff. I just don't like people knowing where I be. Let me tell it. Let me tell my story. Y'all think about this. Since Thursday, I've had the picture with me and Shaq. I ain't posted. Didn't post it nowhere. Ain't posted nowhere. Guess what? I'm sharing it with the people on the Facebook feed. I'm sharing it with people. The people in the boom boom room. I mess with y'all. All these other people, there's a lot of people just on here watching. And shout out to Rossi Karen. Shout out to Rossi Karen, man. I went to the BU thing, the opening last night of the launching of his apparel line. Oh my God. Man, I'm so proud of that kid. I saw people there. I was in a very, very short time. I came in, popped in, saw some people out, and I saw the Cryer family in there. Saw Mika and Lionel. That brightened up my day. And then I got the hell out of here. I got the hell out of there. But shout out to Rossi, man. And it's in a nice little place. And check this out, Kelton. Well, my girl, Shanquetta. I'm walking out. I had my mask on, right? I'm walking out to my car. So I saw this lady kept looking at me. But she ain't say nothing, so I kept coming. It's dark. I'm getting to the car, right? So I get a call from a number that I didn't know. So I ain't answered. So then they called back, and it was a person I know. She owned the place that Rossi was having his event. And she changed her number. She had an Atlanta number, but she got a Houston number now. I didn't know this new number. The friend of mine owned the place, a black woman owned the place that Rossi, I didn't say rent, owned the place that Rossi used and rented out last night. Unbelievable. Shout out to Wesley Yates. I heard what y'all was doing up there. Y'all tell me what happened. Y'all, when Jimmy get here, y'all can talk about that because I don't want to double talk. I know y'all can't wait to get your fix of basketball in, and we're gonna let the basketball guru. I mean, we got parents getting mad because I come over here and talk, just give a fair assessment of what I saw and what I see. I mean, but I love y'all anyway. I love y'all anyway. Hold on, y'all. What else I got? I got something else for y'all. Hold on. I got something else for y'all. No, I ain't gonna do y'all like that. But I want to share. I did want to share with y'all a new book that's out. I'm waiting on Jimmy to come on. If y'all can give me 1 second, hold on. Let me play one thing right quick, and I'll come right back. Play one thing right quick. Let me see what I want to play. There's something I want to play. Then I'll come right back. I want to turn something on. Okay. No, I'll do one more. Hold on a second. I'm back already, Wesley Yates. I can tell you what the Ravens trying to win the damn game. The Ravens didn't think they can win. They were trying to win the game. All the dude missed the pass. Shit. The Ravens had a great pass caught if the dude had caught the pass. I would have did the same thing. Hold up. Herb, you got to realize, Herb, when you set a proverbial elephant in the room, everybody don't know about summer basketball. I have no idea what you talking about what's going on with Houston Hoops. That's Jimmy. So Jimmy be on in a minute. Y'all done talk this morning. Y'all can talk about it. No, Wesley Yates, you played to win the game. Wesley Yates, I would have did the same thing. And I'm not Mr. Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh. I would have did the same thing. They said, man, the play was called. The perfect play was called. I mean, I like the way you think. So you want to tie? No, that man was trying. It was the right call. Thank you, Makiba. Boy, Makiba said 2-point convert. That flicker. That dude should have caught that pass. Like what my man said. He just should have caught it, man. I didn't like the route. No, the pass wasn't inaccurate. Alex Castero, you in timeout. Listen to me. Anytime you're a professional athlete and the ball touch your hand, maybe you ain't been around enough pros before, but I've been around them for 30 years, Alex Castero. When the ball touch your hand, you're supposed to catch the damn ball. He was turned the wrong. A terrible ass route. Alex Castero, let me get on you right quick. He shouldn't have had, the way he had his body turned he shouldn't have been turned that way. He should have drove in a little bit more and pressed that thing a little bit more and turned. That was a terrible ass route. Terrible route. I can't believe that. You know what? That's what I love about human beings. All of us can see the same damn thing, and every one of y'all are going to come away with a different opinion. Alex, come on, man. Alex, do me a favor. Go back and look at that thing again, Alex. Because you missed that one, ball. You missed that one, ball. Alex, I can't believe that came out your mouth. Do me a favor and go back and look at it again, Alex. Just do me a favor. Alex, the pros, you get paid. If it touch your hand, you got to catch it. First of all, you shouldn't have been turned that way. your big ass? Why you turning away all? Alex, go back and look at it again. Yes, I got on you, Alex, about that. Because Alex, you know, when you put it on that screen, always remember when you put it on that screen, Robert Hatter, y'all might not think I'm looking at it. But boy, I done saw it. But without further ado, Jimmy then came in right quick. I think he should be in short. I think I hit the button. Okay, yeah. Boy, I don't know why the latency is a little slow today when I hit that button. But if it touches maybe well, Jimmy here now. Y'all can talk about the proverbial elephant in the room. What the hell is wrong with the Houston Hoops? Jimmy, what the Houston Hoops? How in the Houston Hoops get into this shit? Herb, you must have been on the phone with Herb and you told Herb something here. Talking about some furniture. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, is it worth talking about? But Houston,
I haven't got no new news in regard.
Oh, okay then. Well, we don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about then.
We're in high school basketball season right now, and everything in grassroots is normal for this time of year. Different teams are going to be volleying for different players. Going to be rumored to be jumping ships or swapping musical chairs. Different adults who coach with some programs may be entertaining the opportunity to go with others. Welcome to December. You know what I'm saying? Before the grassroots scenes.
And we don't even have to talk about it. He said he was just being messy.
Right now, just premature stuff, and it's nothing. We don't, it's nothing. Houston Hoops, they'll be fine. But that's so. We are at the top of the hour. We're going to be joined, since you guys want to talk grassroots basketball. We have a gentleman who coached on one of the sneaker programs, grassroots basketball, and he was in the trenches because he was able to successfully navigate him and his son through the vigorous waters of recruiting, and has established a nationwide noticeability for his son. And that is, you guys may be fond and familiar with Sahvir Wheeler. Okay, right? It's Sahvir. And that is his name, how you pronounce it, Sahvir. And that is, he was at Georgia last year. Now he's at Kentucky. And his father, Teddy Wheeler, is going to join us and to talk about all things considered, including his son, as well as an upcoming event that he is hosting this weekend. And he has some fire coming in from out of town as well.
I saw.
From out of town. Yeah, so that's going to be cool for us, Teddy Wheeler joining us. And I'm looking over the schedule. We're going to share the schedule with you guys as well.
And Jimmy, I know we're going to talk about that when he get on there, so we can say that to there. But I want to share. You wasn't on the show. I mentioned it to the people. The coach for Cooley has left A&M and went to Southern, right? And I was talking.
You mean Dooley left Prairie View? Yeah, Prairie View.
Yeah, he left Prairie View. Dooley. Okay, what I call him Cooley? Dooley. See, I don't even know his damn name. Yeah. Okay, so he done left and went there. But Jimmy, I heard the players knew it before the game on Saturday. Why did they let his ass coach that team and the players?
I can believe that. That's not good. And I understand, and let me tell you, I understand the why. Like, people may wonder, why would they do that, and why would he take that job so promptly, knowing you had one game left? Like in the old days, we'll say, isn't that some form of tampering or whatnot?
Jimmy, I don't mind him taking a job, Jimmy. I'm saying they shouldn't have let him coach this last. They knew it before. They shouldn't have let him coach this last game.
But
take the job.
Well, understand. In his mind, he probably thought that he can rally those kids for one last lap around the track.
Jimmy, the kids already knew he was taking a job. The kids was hot in Catfish Creek. I'm telling you what my sources say.
I'm talking about the grown up. See, the kids is one thing.
Yeah.
The players are one thing. The grown-up probably felt and convinced his administrator, I got one more. These dudes, I recruited all these dudes here. They love me to death. We watch me rally these guys. We will win this game against Jackson State. Well, the thing is,
forget the grown-ups. Forget the grown-ups. Dooley, whatever his name is, Dooley. He shouldn't have did it. He should have did, hold up. He should have did just like Chip Kelly did. Chip Kelly said, look here, y'all, I'm out of here. Got on that plane, go on LSU.
Well, and you understand the difference is this. The stakes are higher for LSU because as Chip Kelly did with his actions, 36 hours later, he was right there face to face in recruiting, in making recruiting efforts for LSU. See, the signing date is
so what's the difference?
Within like next week. I think it's next, the 15th.
So Dooley could have been doing the same damn thing.
It ain't this, could have been. But that's what I'm saying.
Why it's not the same? Because it's a black. Hold on. In your eyes, why it's not the same?
Because understand. The stakes are higher because LSU's players that they're recruiting, it requires more money to recruit them players than the players that Southern is recruiting. That's why. It requires more bags you got to go and put down to keep them dudes from jumping ship. See what happened to Oklahoma?
Brian
see what happened
Kelly,
to Oklahoma ass? Huh?
Brian Kelly. I said Chip Kelly. I don't know why.
You see what happened to you see what happened to Oklahoma ass? When they didn't have a guy in place quick enough, you see what happened? They lost 2 5-star All-Americans, including number 1 quarterback in the country.
So Prairie View,
you got to get somebody in there to stop that gap.
So you don't care about Prairie View. Oh, but you don't care about Prairie View.
No,
somebody got to stop the Prairie View gap.
The stake, what I'm saying, those guys are recruiting from the transfer portal.
Jimmy, stop. I get tired of you thinking the white folks stuff is better. The stakes is just as high for Prairie View too.
The stakes are higher. It don't have nothing to do with being better. Excuse me,
Jimmy. To the hold on. To the Prairie View people and their alumni, they just as important as Brian Kelly and them other people.
That's not important. Ain't the key word. I used the key word I used a while ago,
the stakes,
and I said it.
The stakes is just as high.
That's one thing I said. Let me refresh your memory in case you didn't hear the other thing I said. I said it takes more money to get those players that's going to LSU on the whole than it does at Prairie View or Southern. So they got to go get their bags together to keep them dudes to stay, to double down for some of those players that need to. You got to go and hit it right now. And the thing is, how you solve that. This is why for years football never had an early signing period. Now the chickens is coming home to roost for football, college football. It is. The basketball sign there's the second Wednesday in November. I think football is. I think it's the second Wednesday in December. And in football used to sign in the spring.
This is one of the
reasons why.
I don't care. To the PV people. They don't care about this stuff you talking about, the stakes in the bag and bag. They need a coach too. And guess who I heard that's a candidate for the coaching job? Vince Young is a candidate for the coaching job. And Michael Vick is thinking about another job somewhere near here, HBCU job, but they still got a coach, so I wouldn't put the coach's name. But Michael Vick is thinking about. Let me tell you something. That Deion Sanders stuff, man. That Deion Sanders effect, like I told, it working. Vince Young is a serious candidate for the Prairie View job. Hold up. How do you say that? My sources tell me. My sources tell me that he. I mean, but guess what? It makes sense. It makes sense to me. But you talking about it's more. What you said is I think the people at Prairie View, they worry about who their coach gonna be too. They worry about who their coach gonna be. It's important to them
Once again, LSU in Prairie View and many of the upper tier SWAC schools. The upper tier SWAC schools are primarily recruiting from the portal. So that's one phase. These guys here are LSU, they're recruiting primarily from the high school ranks, from those who are 5-star Under Armour All-Americans or Army All-Americans. Primarily, their crop of recruits come from within that talent pool. That's a talent pool that's not generally catered or angled for HBCU football in today's world.
Why couldn't it be that Notre Dame said, okay, Brian Kelly, you gonna sign with them? Well, get the hell out of here. Cause guess what? I got a young black dude that I'm finna promote anyway. He got promoted the next day.
No, it was more so part of the LSU lure from what I got from this weekend was LSU was like, now part of this deal, your ass got to be at work. It ain't no best kept secret. We're not gonna hold this under the wraps. We need your ass at work right tomorrow in 2 days. We need you down there. So that's why he called it. That's why Kelly called it.
Hold up, Jimmy. Let me do some housekeeping. Landon Odd1, do me a favor. These comments right here today about Vincent Young, you can keep to yourself. I'm just telling you. Talking about he a jerk and all that kind of stuff. He might think you a jerk. So let's not assassinate this man's character because he didn't sign an autograph one time. He might have signed, I done been where somebody done signed 50 and then turn one down. Oh, he's a dirty and rotten. So watch that, man. When you talk about people from our community, we protect people in our community. Okay, and I'm just being as nice as I can about it. We protect. He's one of Houston's own. So we ain't gonna let you come on this show. Now you can go on them other shows and say what you want, but on this show, no, we ain't talking about no Vince Young, man. I don't care about the news articles because I know Landon Odd1, I know news articles that lie. CNN lies. Fox News lies. They intentionally lie. You talking about a news article, right, Landon? I talked to a friend of mine that work at Fox Sports. Fox News. They have the most stringent policies in the United States on vaccination before you come in that building, right? Landon Odd1. They get on that show and Tucker Carlson them and start talking about don't get back, telling everybody they lying. Some. So just because there's news articles about Vince Young, it's some news articles about Vince Young that are great. All I'm telling you on this particular show, we can't do that. That's how they see us. You reading the article, did it happen to you? Quit reading these damn articles and forming opinions about our black athletes, man. I'm telling you. Because guess what? The article wasn't written by nobody that looked like me, or looked like Jimmy, or looked like you. And that's all I'm going to say about it. We got to get smarter than that, y'all. What else you got over there, Jimmy? Got to cut that out, man. Always hate.
Oh, man.
I just can't stand it.
Now, you, of course, we talking college football a while ago. And, of course, if you just missed it, the Prairie View A&M's football coach has accepted the head gig over at Southern University. And mind you, he was assistant coach over at Southern a couple of years ago. So he was a favorite and one of the guys that was responsible for getting a lot of the prospects into Jaguar land during their dominance reign in the SWAC. Well, now this young man also he finished from Grambling, so I was really surprised.
Talking about Dooley?
Yeah, he finished from Grambling. I was surprised that Southern would hire a Gramblinite, to head their program.
I got something for you. The Southern, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me make sure I got it right. Right now, y'all, I might have it reversed. Kevin Freeman, help me. The Southern's AD went to Grambling. Southern's new AD went to Grambling.
The new AD.
Yes.
What's his name?
He was just on the show the other day. Kevin Frankman, y'all know the AD. Wait a minute. Hold up. Check this out, Jimmy. I say I might have inverted it. He's either Gramblin's new AD is from Southern, and he made a good point because they said, "How in the hell did y'all playing against each other in this bowl? How in the hell they got you as the AD and you played here or you went here?" He said, "Man, let me tell you something. After this game right here, Rod Dixon, it might be backwards. I said I might have it inverted. He said, after this game right here, all of us are family." He said, this the only game, this game right here, we go at each other head. But so it might be the Grambling AD, Jimmy, that might have went to Southern. It might, like I said, I might have inverted it. I don't know the guy's name, but what's his name? Roland Martin was interviewing him down at the bowl. So it might be inverted, Jimmy. The Grambling guy, he came from Southern. Somebody look it up. Y'all ain't doing shit. Rod Dixon, instead of saying it's wrong, give us the right thing, since you know so damn much.
Somebody asked, Wesley Yates asked, did he play for Eddie Robinson? Yeah, because this guy's right around he's right around my age.
Thank you.
Dooley is. So Eddie Robinson was damn sure the coach, and when he had to have came out back in the mid '80s, some out of high school. I'm just guessing. I don't have it in front of me. So yeah, Eddie Robinson would have been his mentor and his coach on the football field. And shout out to Lionel Cryer, who also played for Eddie Robinson. That's the father of L.J. Cryer, played football at Grambling back in the days. But the thing is now, so that's on the clock, because Prairie View A&M is a very good college job, but obviously, but once again, this young man here, Dooley, is from Louisiana. He coached. His heart is at Southern University. He coached there. He went to Grambling. So it's one of those situations where, and remember now, he like I said, he's from there. So he went back home. So that means Prairie View, when they hire and they're seeking their next coach, they should consider maybe a coach that would refer to either Prairie View or the greater Houston area as home. And that way now you can recruit this backyard. And once again, and people have to understand, if you're getting it done with transfers, Deion Sanders got it done with transfers primarily. Let's not get this stuff twisted. I'm talking about as far as the players on the field.
Jimmy.
No. That's the way. Because what happens is whenever a coach comes in, people say, well, man, is he going to be able to keep the kids at home? That's everybody. You hear that all the time. That's small fan speak. Can you be able to keep the kids? You're going to be able to get some kids. They ain't got to get, you ain't winning the SWAC with kids. You're winning the SWAC with men. So that means you got to be able to go and get those men who are disgruntled, who have went to those schools like a Texas A&M, like a University of Texas, like a Baylor, like a U of H, and get them to come on when thing's not going right. Get in that portal, come on the PV, and get this HBCU experience in your life. That's all. And that's all you got to do. Speaking of colleges around the state of Texas, now, of course, yesterday evening, the bowl lineup was finalized around the country. And I went and I counted them up. And I think I counted 7 Texas-based colleges playing in bowl games. I may be off. You guys can help me out with this. The first one is on December the 18th, the New Mexico Bowl. And that's UTEP playing Fresno State. December the 21st is the Frisco Bowl. Now, where the hell is a Frisco Bowl? Is that Frisco, Texas? I'm just saying the Frisco Bowl is. I'm not joking. I can't make this up. December the 21st.
And Jimmy, before you go there, Jimmy, before you go there, all I told somebody he had to go and look it up. I had to stop what I'm doing to look it up with you. You're such business, Rod. I said I might have inverted it, Rod Dixon. You keep talking about Roman Banks. Forget Roman Banks. I'm talking about Dr. Travion Scott. The vice president of athletic, interathletic at Grambling went to Southern University. That's the point I was trying to make a few minutes ago, Jimmy. Dr. Travion Scott, he went to Southern. And they said, man, how in the hell Grambling hired a dude from Southern? And he said, man, after this game is over, we're family. And no one, instead of trying to prove himself right, I told you I might have inverted it. And that's, so now you can talk about these Frisco Bowls and all that kind of crap. You can talk about that now. I just wanted to give them straight.
This Texas. So
Yeah.
Texas football, 7 colleges are playing in bowl games.
Mhm.
That is a lot from one state of Division I colleges playing in the bowl game. And that's not counting Sam Houston State in the sub Division I in that secondary tier of footballs who the defending national champs. And man, we talk about that later on. That was a hell of a finish. Our young kid, Cameron Ward, man, he almost pulled off the upset. He came 1 foot short. The knee fell down at the goal line without him, and that would have been an upset over Sam Houston State. But anyway, we're going through the list of Texas-based colleges, Division I schools that are playing in the college bowl games. We gave you, last was December 21st, San Diego State and UTSA is playing in the Frisco Bowl. And thank you guys, that's in Frisco. It is in Frisco, Texas. Now, how about this? Check this out now. Follow me with this. I just mentioned December 21st is the Frisco Bowl. Well, on December the 23rd is the Frisco Football Classic. Another bowl. And that's going to be North Texas and Miami of Ohio. So Frisco, Texas has 2 bowls within 48 hours.
You ain't gonna be able to find a hotel in Frisco.
Dude, that grass crew gonna be they gonna be grinding to get that grass, that turf changed out and colored. They got to put the.
It's in the same. Is it in the same stadium?
Yeah, the Frisco Bowl, the same stadium. 2 days later, Adam. 2 days later. Hell, when do they have? They got to get it in one day because both teams got to practice.
Oh, Jimmy, as soon as the game over with,
that's not the same stadium.
Is it the same stadium? It might be. They got more than one stadium out there.
You guys in the Boomer Room, huh?
They got more than one stadium out there now in Frisco.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That you guys on the Boomer Room, check it out. Is that the same stadium or no? And that's the thing. On that regard to December 21st and December the 23rd, you have the Frisco Bowl and the Frisco Football Classic, and that would be featuring Miami of Ohio and North Texas. On December, then 5 days later, on December the 28th, you have the Birmingham Bowl, and that is a pretty decent matchup as far as if you're a Houston Cougar fan. You're going against Auburn.
In Birmingham?
Who's going to be a heavy fan.
In Birmingham?
Huh?
In Birmingham,
in
right?
Birmingham.
That's a home game. That's a home game for Auburn.
Yes, they're going to heavily favor Auburn. Will take on University of Houston in that Birmingham Bowl. Next, also on that same day, Texas Tech will play Mississippi State over in Memphis in the Liberty Bowl.
I love that Liberty Bowl.
Texas Tech and Memphis and Mississippi State. So you can expect a track meet pretty much so on the football field on there. How about on the December the 29th up in Boston, Massachusetts? SMU is taking on Virginia in what is called the Fenway Bowl. Yeah.
What has that got to do with Houston? A Houston team gonna be up there?
A Texas team.
A Texas team. Who?
SMU taking on Virginia.
In Boston?
And that's what I just said. In Boston. Dude, I would have turned that bowl down. You know how cold it is going to be? That's an outdoors game for SMU. They're playing Virginia, who's used to that type of weather that time of the year. If you're a gambling guy, you might want to check that line out.
You ain't turning that bread down.
Next up, you have December the 31st. This is a pretty good one. Wake Forest and Texas A&M will be playing in Jacksonville, Florida at the Gator Bowl.
Wait a minute. The coach that they paid $100 million to is in the Gator Bowl?
90 million.
I call it 100. I round it off.
Yeah, Gator Bowl.
Okay. All right.
Against Wake Forest.
Okay.
The Demon Deacons.
Okay. The basketball program, school. Okay.
The team that beat Alabama is playing in the Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
You know,
Alabama should not be number one because of that ass whooping right there. It should be go blue, hail to the victor. Yeah. I got some friends that went to that school, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim. I got some friends, man.
So you mean to tell me you don't like this Michigan and Georgia matchup in the semifinal?
I just thought Michigan should be the number one seed. That's all.
They could have been. And my thing was,
Jimmy, usually when you win, you go up.
Okay, but here's the thing. If they would have moved, just say, for example, take it either way, you move Michigan, put Michigan at number one. That means Alabama would have been number two. If you move Michigan number one and Alabama number two, that means Cincinnati would have went up one spot to number three, and you punish Georgia for losing that game like they lost. It ain't them losing to Alabama. It's like they lost. So they would drop to number four. Who the matchup is going to be anyway? It's still going to be Georgia and
I'm
Michigan.
talking about the number. You talking about the matchup. I'm talking about usually when you win, you go up. Alabama went way up.
But Alabama, they not only beat the number one team, they demolished them. And you know, it's like one of my thing is that, you know, right now, it's one of those things about ranking, the rank and the seed. It don't. You can tell.
Jimmy,
they were going to punish
to
Cincinnati.
You, it don't matter. To the Michigan people that I know, it matters like hell.
Yeah, so that means, so I'm saying, if you're going to win this, you're in a tournament. It's 4 teams.
Jimmy, our guest is on. Our guest is in the building too, Jimmy. Because I don't know if you see him or not.
And so the matchup is the matchup in regarding that. So guess what? Now you go and you win out. You got to win 2 games. You're the national champ. If you lose to Georgia, then it was inevitable. That means now hush. If you
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Listen, those people wanted to sick Cincinnati to the big bad wolf, and that is Alabama, because Cincinnati messed up a lot of their money. A lot of their money that they would have gotten, understand, for us just going into the national championship from different cities and different conferences. They wanted that alumni base for football. They wanted an Ohio State. That's a loss if you get in Cincinnati instead of Ohio State. They wanted Oklahoma. Oklahoma State lost their own game. They could have gotten themselves in. They lost to Baylor. But that alumni base, they would rather have that over Cincinnati.
Well, guess what?
Now,
I got an alumni base that's in the green room right now. He ready. Teddy. So let's get Mr. Teddy Wheeler in here, Jimmy.
And you'll run a quick break. We're going to come in there, guys, and we got to share the show real quick. We go to a quick break. Then we come right in with our guest. That is Teddy Wheeler. He's the father of Xavier Wheeler, point guard for University of Kentucky men's basketball, and also event operator on the scholastic side right now. And he has something special coming up this weekend with teams as far away from as New York City will be in H-Town. And we're going to tell you and share that with you when we come right back on the Chop Shop.
New York, New York. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. Jimmy, we got a special guest, and would you bring the guest in?
Oh yeah, man, we got a guy that's pretty popular nationwide on the basketball scene, and that is grassroots, scholastic and non-scholastic. He's from New York City. He's came into H-Town and definitely put his fingerprints on the local scene in quick, fast, and a hurry. And as also was hired as an men's assistant boys basketball coach at one of the local private schools, Houston Christian High School, which was ironically, that sounds familiar. That was the host location for the recent Hoops Giving Classic that we held on November the 24th, and we held annually the day before Thanksgiving. So we have Teddy Wheeler is joining us right now, and Teddy he's been chomping at the bit to get on the Chop Shop, and this is your day. On Teddy, talk to me.
Good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me. Man, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to join you guys today. You guys looking mighty sharp today. I love the background. Look like you guys are in, you know what I mean? In the middle of the right now.
You're looking mighty tall today.
Hey,
I took that as advice.
Hey, he tall when he's Jimmy. He tall when he's standing on top of his wallet.
Yeah. Hey, if he ain't, he gonna be that way in a minute. And of course, and that is, of course, your son, man. You can tell all over. It's written all over your face. You are one proud papa right now, and
no question.
And that is, of course, your son, Xavier Wheeler, is getting down over at University of Kentucky. He's on pace to become the all-time leading assist per game averager in the history of that program. I mean, what does it feel like? Describe what goes into that.
You know, it's obviously it's a credit to his diligence and his work ethic. I mean, he may go down as one of the all-time assist leaders in that conference at 2 separate schools, you know, which is really impressive. He set several records at the University of Georgia, was all-league there as a sophomore, and now he kind of took his talents to Lexington, so to speak, and so he's doing off to a great start there, and you know, we couldn't be more proud of him. My wife and I, they're really excited about the things that he brought to that program. And they're helping him too. They're helping him in some areas that he needed some help in. So it's a win-win for both parties, and we're definitely proud parents. We've been up there a couple of times, and obviously we made that trek to Madison Square Garden, and that was almost an out-of-body experience watching him on the Madison Square Garden floor, prime time, and all the stars and celebrities out, and they watching that game, and he was getting super busy against Duke. So that was proud. That was a proud moment for Houston. Right, because he certainly reinvented himself as a Houstonian for sure. I still consider myself a native New Yorker, but my kids grew up here. My wife and I, we have 6 children, and they're every bit a part of this Houston fabric. You know, they're in the community. You know, they've gone to the Houston schools. They've been part of private schools, charter schools, public schools. You know, certainly have benefited from the resources that Houston affords us on the basketball side. But we've also kind of paved and trailblaze new territories for guys to come after him. So we're excited about what he's doing.
Definitely, because, I mean, I didn't really know much about Houston Christian until that young man stepped on camera. I'm teaming up. Jimmy might have known, but myself. Right. So I mean, it's a testament to, I mean, not just him, to you and your whole family, man. I remember him. Well, I remember him. We used to be at every game, and y'all need to watch this too, y'all. At every game, look, Xavier used to be always grabbing the ball and shooting in the times out. At every tournament.
You got to chase his little butt off the court.
Yeah, you always had to chase. Now you got to do that for Lupe's little son. So y'all better watch out for Lupe Nunez's little son. Them little guys you had to chase off. They always wind up being good players. Teddy, I mean, you can talk about that if you want to.
That's a fact. I think the more proximate you are with the game, it benefits you, right? Like if you hang around smart people, automatically you're gonna become a little smarter. People are gonna drop little nuggets. So if you stay around that game, you develop a love for it. And I think people want to help you a little bit more because they know how committed you are, the passion that you have for the game, that it's not going to be falling on deaf ears when you share information. And so the resources that he's gathered, obviously, he's a talented player and he works hard, but I think he's a good kid, and I think people, typically want to help good people, and so I'm proud. I'm proud mostly of that he's gone across the country and built relationships, but I think that this city really helped him out too.
Jimbo?
Now, of course, now goes into, of course, there's parents that's watching right now and all over, and it's
Yeah,
not easy. You coached your son in grassroots basketball, and
yeah,
then sit on the bench during the high school season. What's the
right.
difference, and what tips do you have for a parent in the training and the approach to a point guard, and what goes to make up? Because a lot of people think they look uh, at some, I got to score a lot. I need to score a lot. I need to
Right.
do this. I need to do that. Different strokes for different folks. What was the ingredients in your gumbo?
Well, I'm gonna sell that at one point. I'm gonna sell that at some point. But in brief, I'll tell you that we tried to separate the basketball piece from the parental side. Like when after the game, I wasn't Coach Teddy, or and he never called me Coach Teddy or Coach. He always called me Dad. But I would try to separate the two. So in the field of competition, I'm his coach. I'm gonna hold him accountable. I'm gonna make sure he's doing the right thing. But when we got in the car, we moved on. Because I allowed him to have success, but I also put him in situations where he could fail publicly, right? We always look for the biggest games, the best matchups, even if he was the underdog. We played Max Evans, and when he was a really good high school player, he was 8 inches taller and probably 60 pounds heavier. We played the Nigel Pearsons and TJs at Beaumont Centrals. We played obviously the Kendrick Davises, and we scheduled those games intentionally. Like we went out looking for those matchups to put him in a situation where he could either earn his reputation as a high level national level recruit, or get his head knocked in. And I think there is some benefit to that too, because it built toughness, it built grit, and it allowed him to have some experiences on his own where Dad couldn't figure it out for him. He had to go figure it out for himself. So as we move from that high school space to AAU, I didn't coach him till he got to 17U. I coached him through 8th grade, but then I chose the best coaches I can find for him. And Coach Crandall at Houston Christian coached him in 15s as a 9th grader. Coach D. King coached him 16s, or swapped that. Crandall coached him as an 8th grader playing 15s. Coach King coached him as a 9th grader playing 16s. And I coached him 2 years of 17s. And, what I tried to do is, put him around people who have like minds as far as the game is concerned. Because I think what happens is parents don't create alignment between the development, the high school, and the AAU side. I think for a kid who's developing his mind, developing his identity as a player, there has to be alignment in those three things. So, he is a consistent message. He's affirmed in a way that, allows him to go ahead and be his best version. But also, if he doesn't have immediate success or he struggles a little bit, he's not looking to blame somebody. It's not the coach's fault. It's not, my teammate's fault. And you hear that a lot. And I try to be a resource to other parents because sometimes they have that fear. They have that fear of criticism, that fear of failure. And I think that's healthy. It helps Xavier. It helps Xavier when dudes was on Twitter getting at him. You know what I'm saying? Because control the narrative now, right? When he's playing these national televised games, it's not something that he can overlook. Somebody's going to add him on something or criticize him or something else. So just like you get the praise, you got to be strong enough to accept the criticism.
What's so unique
Now,
Teddy? Hold on, Jimmy. I didn't hear a lot of that stuff because I don't listen to a lot of these people talk. I didn't realize. Tell me some of the things they were saying about it. Share that with us, cause I didn't. I didn't get a lot of it, right? Because
Well,
I guess I'm not
yeah,
in that circle that people come,
right.
because I don't let people come telling me about nobody. I say I want to see the player for myself. You can't, because people,
Mhm.
and I had the same thing about Quentin Grimes. I
So
said,
when you
keep going. Come on.
when he was in middle school,
Uh-huh.
it was I thought, well, man, he can't do it in high school and play on varsity. The kids are too big, too strong. And it's honest. I mean, that's not no fault of anyone else's. To
Okay.
be, I think it was
Okay.
like 5'3", 5'4",
Okay.
140 pounds as a ninth grader. So there was some trepidation or some doubt in regards to how could he translate his skill set to the high school level with bigger, stronger guys. And then he had an unbelievable freshman year. I think he averaged 13 points and 8 assists as a freshman. So then okay, he can't do it against the best guys in the country. Then we traveled all around the country and he was doing the same thing.
I got you.
And then 17U was going to be different. 7-footers, shot blockers. And then he went out there and did what he had to do there. So there was a consistent theme. Then it was like when he recruited and committed to an SEC school, he can't do that in the SEC for sure. That those guys are too big, too strong, too athletic. And then he goes in the SEC and freshman year has immediate success in the league. Was on the cusp of being on the all freshman team, and then comes back and is an all SEC performer as a sophomore. Oh, sure, he can't, take another step. Then he goes to Kentucky, and now he's setting the country on fire doing that. But so I think there was always some doubt or some naysayers, but that helped me as a father. It helped me as a coach to keep him motivated, because Jim had him as the number one player in the city in the ninth grade at 5'4", 140 pounds.
There's some
He
people
was the one
complain.
that
I remember them complaining about that.
yeah,
Now Jimmy took
Hicks
some heat
used
for
to
that.
take a little. I don't know. Hicks didn't call me and say, "Yo, these dudes are saying that," but I would know. There's guys who criticize him now, who are quite, it's ironic, but now their kids are facing a little bit of backlash and heat about what their kids can do, and so
Right.
I never went back and forth with guys on Twitter. I tried to stay out the fray, but what I tried to do is keep his name, going against the top guys. So if you think he's better, okay, cool, let's go play you. Let's go play that game. Let's go get. And you got to go to their school or go to their gym or play in their event, and then we would document it. We had videographers, and Take My Talent was a huge part of Xavier's visibility. They helped a lot because they documented it, and so people could see it. And so between Basketball University and Houston Christian, he was kind of the flagship thing that made it cool for those programs to get other elite players to come on board and play with them. And then, for me as a coach, I tried to make sure that he didn't change his game. Like he didn't shoot all the balls in middle school. He didn't shoot, when he played for Herb Baker, Herb didn't have him shooting 25 shots a game. He would have to pick his spots in order to be aggressive and be productive. But his game was to make everybody better and to help impact winning. And then in the midst of that, if you're making plays and playing fast and playing with pace, ultimately you'll be productive enough to warrant, your standing.
Awesome.
Now you mentioned earlier about this is Teddy Wheeler. He's the father of Xavier Wheeler, the star point guard for University of Kentucky, formerly of Georgia Bulldogs. When you made the transfer, your son, from Georgia to Kentucky, within the same conference, you mentioned. I'm just curious. Did Xavier, did he get like death threats? Did he get any of? Remember, that's Georgia. Did he get any of those N-word messages? I mean, saying so. I'm just curious. Did it happen?
No. I didn't. I don't think that. And if he did, he didn't share that with me. I have no knowledge of. The toughest conversations I had was with Tom Crean, the head coach. That was difficult because he was losing his franchise player, so to speak, coming back. But there was no negative comments from strangers, and if it did, I doubt if Xavier even noticed it, if there was. But there's been some times or some conversations had with coaching staffs that's difficult, right? You lose a player like that, it's hard on everybody. But I thought that was the right move at the right time. Now, when he got in the portal, we didn't know he was going to end up at Kentucky. but we knew he was looking for an opportunity to play with, some better players and have a chance to be able to compete for a national championship, and also be where he could get pushed every day, where he be held accountable and have to earn it every single day in practice, and just more of a challenge. He was looking for the next challenge, and I think that's what he's found at Kentucky.
And of course, we guys will take some of your questions for Teddy Wheeler. You guys, but meanwhile, you can load them on up, and we'll get to them in just a second. One dash I mentioned earlier.
In a minute, I want to talk about the event this weekend.
No, that's what we're gonna get into that. Okay. Absolutely, we're getting that. Right now we're talking Xavier. That's what we talking now on a topic that's gonna get everybody's attention. What's we're doing right now? As you get their attention, then we keep their attention and slide the tournament, the event right up in there. That way now, that's how you do. So they want to hear about Xavier. They want to know what the hell going on. How did this man been able to overcome these odds and have his son in such position to where you are in total control? And that's rare in today's basketball side for a sub 6 foot player. For you to be in total control of his destination and his journey right now. Now, earlier, Kenneth Lofton Sr. was in the Boom Boom Room. He's the father of Kenneth Lofton Jr., who shout out to him. He had another 30-point, 15 rebound game this past weekend. And he said, thanks for the job that you did.
Like during COVID, we were crazy enough to stay in the gym. We had college guys that either play with Basketball University or train with me. And those guys were looking for a sense of normalcy. So we got in the gym. We were in the gym. And those kids, I think, went to another level because that was a safe haven for them. And we worked those kids and allowed them to get real player development. And then, at the end of each of those player development sessions, be at a scrimmage against other high level dudes. And I think that was a thing that kind of springboarded, Xavier after his freshman year, going into his sophomore year to being, an all-league guy. It helped Ken Lofton, get acclimated to that speed that's different from high school that we play with. Miller Kopp, LJ Cryer, Reuben Jones. These are guys that were in there consistently. Elijah Weaver at Dayton. So we had guys coming from all over the country coming in there to work out and get some meaningful player development. But I love coaching Junior. I love being in the gym with him. He's coachable. He's not just well-mannered, and there's a difference, I think. Well-mannered is yes, sir, no, sir. Being coachable is being able to get information and apply it in real time. So that was helping him. I got a chance to coach him in Vegas for a couple weekends in July, just prior to his senior season, and really got a chance to know him. And I told everybody in my phone that dudes was missing because he was clearly one of the best big guys in the country that I had ever seen that year, but clearly one of the best guys I've ever coached. And you can play through him, which is very rare for big guys in today's game. You could throw it to him on every possession and something good is going to happen. And I think people around the nation are now starting to figure how good he is out. And so he's a pleasure to be around. When he comes to Houston, he'll stop by Houston Christian and visit with me. And we'll have conversations about where he is with his game and what he feels good about and what he knows he has to still develop. So he's a pleasure to be around and a pleasure to coach.
What's your thoughts on playing up?
That's a good question. I think my thoughts about playing is playing. Like, you got to play. So it's not good enough to play up if you're not playing the position that you're going to eventually play. I think some dads use it as an excuse, so they don't have to perform against their peers. Some dads look at it as an advantage. But I think, if you remove the term play up, in high school basketball, you're not playing up. You're just playing varsity, playing JV. I think if you take the label of playing up out of it, what are you bringing to that team? What are you bringing to that game on a consistent basis? For point guards, it may help them with the speed of the game, like processing things quickly, and being able to play with the level of pace that sometimes your peers are not accustomed to playing, so playing faster. For bigger guys playing up, you may be forced into a role that doesn't allow you to develop offensively. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think individually you got to look at what your role is on that team and be able to look at it objectively from that standpoint. But I think there's pros and cons with each situation. I think individually it's got to fit. So from a point guard perspective, do you have the ball in your hands? Are you making plays? Are you making reads? Are you defending your position at a high level? And can you impact winning at that level you're playing on? If you're playing up and you're playing Rudy Pool competition, then that's not saying much. But if you're able to play, quote unquote, play up, and you're playing against the best teams in the country and you're able to impact winning, then I think there's a benefit to it because the guy's obviously going to be bigger, stronger, faster. For a bigger guy, you need to be able to impact the game offensively and not just run up and down the floor and rebound and play defense. Sometimes playing your own age group allow the game to be slow enough where you can be an offensive threat.
And we got a couple of questions, and of course, you guys.
I got one just popped up. It popped up on the screen, Jimmy.
Shoot it at him.
Let's see. It's coming back. He just said, Teddy, I have two sons. One is 9 and one is 10. They run track with no basketball experience. Where should I start to make them well-rounded players?
Just get them in a gym where they can get skill development, but also play. I think so many times I see kids over the years who have been really diligent about doing drills that it doesn't translate to the games because they don't play enough. They don't play enough one-on-one. They don't play enough 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 full court. And I think you learn the game, learn concepts, learn habits by playing a structured version of pickup basketball. And so you got to have both. You got to have the skill development, but at the end of the day, you got to have some level of competition. So I think that's an important thing. As far as what age, you should do it now. Like, don't skip on, I have 3 sons. They each have different paths in the game, but I try to do the same things for them in terms of balancing the skill development stuff to just letting them play, letting them figure it out on their own of, what works for them. What things they can take from somebody they're playing against, being the hammer and the nail. So in the hammer scenario, you're better than the guy you're playing against. So you're willing to try some things. You're willing to be aggressive with certain things. And when you're the nail, you're just not trying to get your head beat all the way in, but you're getting your head beat in a little bit. I think those things are beneficial.
You got another question? Whatever you see up there, Howard. Also, while you queuing up another question for you, Teddy, we want to. Mr. Morrow says he want to give you a thank you for getting Jada Morrow prepared for her freshman season at Penn State. She is now tied for second in the conference at 3-pointers as a freshman at Penn State. And what did you do with her?
So just give her the confidence. Sometimes you can see people in drills and they can really do things that they're not necessarily showcasing in games because they don't have the confidence. And if we get interrupted, there may be a fire drill alarm go off. I'm not going to move. I'm just telling you there may be an alarm go off and surely. But as far as with her, it's just giving her the confidence to play off her jump shot, to be shot ready on the catch every time, because she would make an incredible amount of shots consecutively in drills. But when you watch her play, she would pass up shots. She would just move the ball, move it, be, sharing and things like that. And it's like your gift is your shooting. So you got to be shot ready when you catch the ball, and just reminding and building that self-efficacy where they can, see themselves doing it, have experience, getting verbal persuasion from me to tell them, hey, you can do this. We did the same thing with Will Baker. Will Baker didn't play as a sophomore in high school. He played 10, 12 minutes a game in March. And by April, he was top 50 in the country because I allowed him to showcase what he was capable of and then hold him accountable to that. If you're capable of that, you got to do that every possession. And so like those type of thoughts and those type of things go hand in hand. So that's what I did with her. And just so that kind of helped her confidence she's gonna have a terrific college career.
I got another one for you from Makiba Hatton. She said, Coach Wheeler, can you talk about how to help a player athlete develop a basketball IQ and how it helps the player learn the game and not just memorize it? Learn the game and not memorize it.
I think you gotta hold on a second.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
There you go. And
We're getting, but I got another question. That's a good one. You let us know, Teddy. Teddy, I saw some. I know you can hear me, and I saw some on Twitter the other day, and I want you to answer Makiba's question first. But it said this message. He said this. The message is pro. Are you a failure by too many people? Most, because people are always talking about if a guy's a pro or not, whatever. He said, or are you a failure to too many people, most which didn't even play high school basketball? The message should be to learn to use basketball environment to help you in your future endeavors, relationships, how to deal through situations, how to be a part of the team. Because a lot of people feel like if you're not a pro, if you didn't make it to the league, and they don't realize most people don't make it but the 1% make it, Teddy. So I want you to touch on that because everybody, it's this pressure. These guys think so I know some guys, if they don't make it pro, they think they're a failure. So we'll talk about that, Jimmy. What else you want to add? Because I guess Teddy's is still going off. Push your mute button. Unmute yourself. Are you still? Okay. All right. So, but Jimmy, okay. But Jimmy, I was just thinking about that. Somebody tweeted that the other day. People think, and I'll take it down a level. Just because you don't go to Division I, don't mean you're failure. It don't mean you're a failure. If you go to Division I, even if you don't play in college basketball, most people don't play college basketball past high school. I'm going to repeat that. It's not a right to play high school basketball. It's a privilege that you earn. And some people think because I done been in all the AAU, Teddy done worked me out, I Herb done ran me up the hill, I supposed to go Division I basketball. And Teddy, I'm just giving you some stuff that I know that these people in this arena needs, because we have so many just so many. They living in never land. You said something earlier. When my son used the criticism to get better. Teddy, we got parents use the criticism and want to talk about the people who just trying to help them. Talking about my son on that damn show. Some lady said we full of it. But you take that and you do something with it, parents. And I know, and Polar play, and them Polar kids, a lot of them kids just want to get better and get better. It's their parents, Teddy. They don't have, and I hate you couldn't put your imprint. Now you done put your imprint on a lot of people. I'm watching parents telling me, "Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Teddy." You and a few more guys. Only thing I got to nudge you about. I go to Jimmy's book. I went and got my book, and you ain't in the damn book. You ain't in the book as a trainer. So that means you ain't been watching the damn Chop Shop. And you ain't been watching Jimmy Twin. Yeah, y'all, I'm going to get on him. You know this the Chop Shop. I love him, but I got to get on him. And he understands. I mean, y'all got to realize, one of the best skill development. See, I got a chance. Listen to me. I ain't had a chance to go in everybody's skill development. Teddy. No, Teddy, you good? I'm just letting you listen. We talking about you. You can't talk back. Hey, check this out, y'all. I I had the advantage of going in there.
Say, man, you better make sure Teddy ain't got no active shooter going on over there. You know, they ain't got fire drills.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Teddy, y'all ain't got no active shooter over there. Shit. No, I ain't gonna even kid about that. No, forgive me, Lord. Throw that out the air. No, throw that out there. I shouldn't have let Jimmy take me down that rabbit hole. Let me get back to this here. I've had a chance, y'all, to go inside of one of Teddy's training sessions, and yes, I mean, intense. It was intense, and so it was just a unique. The rest of you guys, I have not. That's the only guy that I went to his training. Him and John Lucas is the only two guys. Like Jimmy said, he don't go in the gym. That's the only time I ever seen it. But I know what you do, man, and I'm proud of you. And let's keep on. Hey, it's a whole nother generation. Just don't stop when your kids. Don't just leave when your kids go off and do what they got to do, because people need you, guys like you in our community. Thank you, New York, for giving us one of your people. Thank you, and we're gonna adopt you as our own. But that, Jimmy, that's the longest ass fire drill I ever heard of in my life. But keep going, Jimmy. What you got?
and of course, speaking of the drill, we take a break. We come right back for your questions, guys. And I know you got plenty of them for Teddy Wheeler, but don't forget. And Teddy, your assistant basketball coach at Houston Christian.
Yeah. And
I think your next game is coming up. You guys played this past weekend in the Mustang Classic, and you took one on the chin, I think, in the semis, I think, to Westbury Christian. But you're in the quarterfinals, I think, to Westbury Christian, and you beat St. John's. Now you're back in action this weekend, and you're hosting an event, and this your team that you open up with features a young man who's one of the leaders in the state of Texas in scoring. And so your son, who's a 9th grader, speaking of playing, he's going to be playing up against this 12th grader.
Hold up. You didn't call his name. I know you ain't talking about PJ Haggerty.
That's right. That's right.
The sniper. The easy money sniper junior.
What should we expect from this matchup against Crosby and Houston Christian?
First of all, PJ is a load. You guys know that I was on here a couple years ago when we first did this event talking about what I thought of PJ Haggerty. I put him on my 17s in the 9th grade, and so I told everybody what I thought of him then, and I stand behind that. He's done nothing to disappoint me, and he's met expectations from what we have from him. He's a terrific player and a terrific young man. Has got a great family. So you should expect fireworks. That's what you should expect. You should expect, a multi-gun salute to that. You know what I'm saying? Because, he come in bringing it. Like, that's what I always respect about that kid. When he put his name in that books, it's gonna be something significant going on. So we got quite a challenge on our hands. And so we're looking forward to the challenge. We scheduled the game, we did that intentionally. Like I said, we did the same thing with Xavier, put him against the best guards, regardless of class.
There you go.
And we've done that with Montana. Montana's already played Cam Embry, Seth Jones. He's played, Tassin. These are the best coaches in the city as well. We try to match wits with the best programs, but this is another tall task for him. But he's, Montana's getting there. He's averaging 17, 5, and 4 right now. As a freshman, which is pretty significant numbers against that level of competition.
Coach, you black coach. You know what? I gotta ask. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this question, because somebody mentioned it earlier in the feed. You had a pretty good player leave the school and go back to another school.
Yeah.
Could you talk about it? And I know you're gonna talk about it in a class. I was just curious. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I don't think the kid could believe it either. I think there was this became a logistical challenge. Okay. He lives far away. He lives in the Clear Lake area.
Oh, that's right.
On the Clear Falls. That was a huge sacrifice. that they were willing to make. And there's some things happen personally that made it a lot more difficult. The support that he was getting in reference to traveling to and fro, those dynamics changed. So he had to go back to his old, but that's a huge loss for us. I mean, we were anticipating him playing 24 to 26 minutes to get 18 a game. So we put this team together thinking he would be a part of it, but we wish him the best. We certainly still support him. It was a difficult day when he left for everybody involved, for him and for the team and for the kids that built that bond. But if he got anything from it, he has some really good spiritual experiences in our chapel and our devotional periods that I know that will impact that young man for the rest of his life. So we wish him the best, and I'm certainly going to continue to work with him as we move forward. But I know I was on mute for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you guys are right as far as the player development stuff. I would be less than honest if I said I've been listening to the show as much as I have in the past, just some of the things that I got going on in the daytime. But I was a little disappointed when I opened that book up because I don't consider myself a trainer. I consider myself a coach. But a part of coaching is player development. And I think after Lucas, I think you can put my resume up against anybody's in the city in regards to that type of stuff. And there's plenty of guys who do a great job. I just know what we're doing in our gym is transformational.
And I had one more, Jimmy. I had one more for him too. God, man, it got me. Somebody just said something. Keep going.
While you're pulling that up, this takes us right to, of course, that game is Friday. I want to say 8 p.m. It's part of the Stars and Stripes, and that's an event that you are directing. And tell us about these teams and tell us about the Stars and Stripes. I mean, and for this, I was looking at the schedule earlier, and I'm like, okay.
This is our fourth iteration of the event. We had some hiccups like everyone else in terms of COVID. We had to scale it down. But now that we have a new COVID normalcy, we've tried to reach out and get the most high level teams that maybe the city of Houston hasn't seen some of these guys over the last few years. So we're excited about some of the teams we're bringing in. We're bringing a team out of New York, Our Savior Lutheran. They bring in an exciting brand of basketball. They have several high major recruits on that team. We're bringing in Plano John Paul II. They have a slew of high level dudes. Really talented, and they'll be going against San Antonio Wagner with the aforementioned Austin Nunez. Is a high level scoring guard. He's gonna have his hands full. With a really big time matchup against Plano John Paul. We got a couple of other exciting games on the docket as well. From the standpoint of Houston Christian against Crosby, like you mentioned. We have McKinney, Texas Christian out of the Dallas area. They're a TAPS favorite. They're going to be playing Westbury Christian, who popped us, as you so eloquently had early in the conversation. They got one of the best unsigned scoring guards, Zaire Williams, and they're coached by Tyler Guidry, who I'm a big fan of. He does a great job with his program. We got the date circled on our calendar. We actually play Westbury again later on in the year, so hopefully we'll get a chance to exact some revenge. But they got a couple big time games. We got the St. Francis team that Harold Babers coaches. They got some freshmen that are really good. They got some exciting young talent. I'm looking forward to seeing them. And we got a slew of other games. We're gonna have you guys post a matchup preview later on in the week on RCS Sports. So we on the lookout for that. But I'm excited about it. This is an event that my daughter and I kind of came up with almost 5 years ago. It took a year to kind of bring it to fruition, which she could be involved in the game of basketball without playing. So she curates a lot of the things that we do around it, from a branding, from a creative standpoint. And so it's kind of a labor of love for us to be able to build, something that's sustainable. It's exciting for my family. So, this is Montana's first year being a part of it. Excited about that. He's got 2 big time matchups. He's playing Prestonwood Christian on Saturday, and then a Friday night. And all our guys are getting better. I'm excited about Brody Robinson.
Oh, stop. That's my man right there.
I love coaching Brody. I think he's the most underrated senior in the city of Houston. Scoring at 3 levels, can defend, plays with momentum, and plays with force and enthusiasm. Brings a level of joy and excitement to the court. Can make shots from all over the court. He can play on the ball, off the ball. We kind of use him in the way that he would be used in college. So I'm excited about him getting the level of competition to maybe match up mano a mano with PJ Haggerty for some of that game. So it's some really cool games and really exciting games on the docket, and we're looking forward to see that event play out once again this year.
I'm looking at it. I put it
and
up
that
on the
is
screen.
the schedule that Hatter has just posted up for you guys right now, as you can see. And that's the schedule for this weekend. The games will be Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
at Houston
so they will start
Christian.
Friday. The first game is at 3:30 on the campus of Houston Christian High School. It's a family-friendly event.
Yeah.
We have, we try to make it as much as Houston versus Dallas as much as possible, not having Dallas teams play Dallas teams and San Antonio teams play San Antonio teams. So we try to keep the matchups where teams would play each other that they haven't seen so far this year, but also have a level of competitiveness. And what I'm really excited about as well is that this is the first year we've entered a girls game, and the girls game is headed by our Houston Christian girls, and they're undefeated. They're an SBC favorite. Coach Ryan Bicken does a tremendous job with their girls, and to enter a certain level of diversity, equity, inclusion, we thought it would be appropriate for them to be the highlight of the finale. So they're playing Sunday evening against St. Pius, which has a tremendous player there as well, who's a sophomore. So we're going to develop some real high level competition with these games. So we're excited about that.
And of course, that is this weekend.
Some people ain't got some people can't see, so I was just trying to put it up there, get it. Hey, Teddy, is there anywhere else they can get this information? Could they go to the Houston Christian website and get this information?
Yep, and at Stars 3 Stripes on that Instagram page, we're gonna post that as soon as we get off. As soon as we get off this call, that schedule will be updated and be visible to all for all to see. So go to that Instagram page and check that out. We tried to be outside of the box thinkers with all of the stuff that we're involved in, from the event to the brand to Savir's management and branding. We've always tried to be people who are creative and innovative in our approach to this basketball space. And, I obviously have great people around me that have helped along the way. Rob Lahalika does a great job with activation and branding for Savir. I know that's always a question of how we've navigated this stuff. And we try to partner with forward thinkers. Rossi Karen's done a great job thinking outside the box. And so that being around great people, I think, helps your IQ. That was a question asked earlier. And so in terms of IQ and with handling teammates and handling your time management and handling opportunities, we were doing workshops and things like that with people who are still involved with us, right? As I mentioned, Rob Lahalika, he did a great job of putting together things in terms of name, image, and likeness 5 years ago. He was doing things in terms of looking at Savir, like we did the video, The Options, right? Which was a video kind of dissecting how we made the choice to go to Kentucky. These things didn't just happen by chance. It was being thoughtful and being intentional about building relationships and trying to do things that could sustain over a length of time. And so that's another way we're just bringing more quote unquote IQ to the table. I'm available to all who want to, have a discussion. I try to help as many people as I can. And now that I'm not in grassroots, it's allowed me to build more relationships because people aren't as hesitant because, to ask for help or to be a resource because they don't think I'm trying to recruit them to an AAU program. I think people just, genuinely, looking for help, they're willing to ask. So if you want my number and you're tapped in, you can get it from somebody. I'm not going to share my phone number on this platform. But if you want to get with me, find a way to get with me. And I'm more than willing to help from the player development. As we transition guys from high school to college to name, image, and likeness, we have a team of people that we trust that we're working with, that's handling a lot of the stuff off the court that I can't manage all of it, and even in terms of AAU stuff. And I think these are important choices these parents are making as they move forward, because there is a process to it. Like, you got to have a system in place to take a kid from middle school to high school to AAU to college to on-court success in college. You just don't show up and that stuff happens. We both, all three of us, know how many guys have come through Houston that we thought would have success. And you're not a failure if you don't make it to the NBA, but you do have to be able to capitalize on the opportunities once you get to college. And so there are people who think about the things that are going on off the court that can help with that. And and I try to make sure that I stay connected with those kind of people.
Unique,
of course.
And I would like to say, and let's not, Teddy, you don't have a magic wand, ladies and gentlemen. He don't have a magic wand that he can wave, and little Johnny is great. Okay, because I just sometimes you have to say that, Teddy, because some people have these false illusions of grandeur out here. So it's and they just think, oh, if I go here, I'll go there. If I do this, I'll do that. No. Everybody got their own lane. Everybody got their own. Let me tell you, everybody got their own life. And you said something about Xavier having options.
Yeah.
See, you had to be good enough to have those options, because everybody's not going to be in that situation that have those options.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Particularly those options.
Yes.
You're going to have those options that he's had. You got to be really good. You got to have a belief. But I think sometimes people go along with the crowd because they don't want to look at their options. They want to look at someone else's options and choose from those things. And those, I think about some of the guys that, even in the city of Houston, like we have a couple players that, that are in my immediate vicinity that I'm proximate with, that they made some difficult choices to be a part of different AAU teams or different AAU programs that are not really great fits, and they're not as visible or playing the way they need to play in order to be able to continue to develop before they get to that 17U kind of last lap around the track, as Hixby's sharing sometimes. And I think sometimes we go along with the hype, and you really got to look at what's best for you individually. To me, it's better to go with a team that's not on the EYBL or Adidas circuit or Under Armour if you're gonna play, right? And so I'd rather my son, be a starter or be a key component on a Texas Takeover with Coach Ned than be the 11th man with the hoops. I don't see the value of doing that. And I've talked to coaches about this. It's hard sell for a college coach to come recruit your son, and he's not getting any playing time on his 16U team or his 15U, 17U team, but you think he's good enough to impact my program at the collegiate level, which is a huge jump. So it's better to be visible and playing where you can exhibit and showcase your ability versus coming in playing spot minutes. That hurt Keanu Dawes last summer. Now we're doing extra to make sure Keanu Dawes is visible and people know who he is, but he played behind some guys who they in my basketball opinion will never be better than Keanu Dawes. But he was put in a position by joining a team that has some really good players that have played together some years, and now he's starting to showcase what he's capable of doing. But he was always good enough to be at this level, and I think it slowed his process down on the recruiting side. Hopefully, we continue to share information, and guys like yourselves and some other guys can continue to help these kids get the level of exposure that they need.
Yeah, Jim.
Now, of course, I had another question that somebody posted in the Boom Boom Room, and we're going to ask you guys if you would be so kind to share the show, if you would, right now. Just hit the share button, share the show to your pages, to your groups, to your social media accounts. You can, if you're on whichever platform you are on right now, let's get a good share out there right now. There are a lot of parents, relatives, and friends of yours that could use some of this conversation we're having with Teddy Wheeler and with us right now today. Now, one of the things that has came up, and of course, it's been somewhat an elephant in the room. And thanks for Alfio for posting the breaking news in regards to the University of Texas over the weekend. TJ Ford and a group of other young guys has been appointed to be in charge of a name, image, likeness fund that will go over the University of Texas athletes.
Called the Pancake Initiative for the offensive linemen, because they know the pancake people. So it's the pancake.
Yeah, and that's a part. I'm saying, like TJ Ford, like I said, this is just a springboard from that, because it's going to be various sports from University of Texas. Now in football, that's what you had to just mention about the Pancake Initiative. I mean, each offensive lineman is estimated or expected to get about $50,000 per season that attends University of Texas. This is some creative maneuvering around the rules of the name, image, likeness. They've creatively found a way, a loophole in the rules. And as always, you have a school that's
not a
making
loophole,
a mockery.
Jimmy. That's not a loophole. They just
How's it not?
The rule changed so that you're allowed to use that. The same thing as the guy at Miami did.
But remember now, Hatter, the rule when they first said it, when the NCAA first
said
brought
the
up the name,
school couldn't initiate it.
No, they said initially the rule was, they said that you can't, boosters are not supposed to be able to give you the bread, and based on your performance as an athlete, right? It's not based on performances. And boosters can't be the source of it. So what they did was basically create a mutual fund from the boosters and name it up under the name, and then the fund disperses the money to these athletes. So it's a creative maneuver because it's a booster-led collective.
Hey,
that's the thing.
Thank you. TSU better get a better football team, because everybody gonna get fired up there.
What they got to do with TSU?
No, I mean Texas. I ain't talking about no damn TSU.
Like, what they do with TSU?
No. I apologize, Texas, for mentioning your name with TSU. I'm talking about Texas better get a good football team.
This is how you do it, though, Hal. This is one way you do it. Which I'm not mad at Texas, but what's going to happen now, the market is set now, because Texas is going into what conference? The SEC. So you can rest assured that LSU is not about to let University of Texas outdo them when it comes to some money that's being on the table for a football player. Now, maybe basketball, maybe baseball, but maybe track, but not football. So you can expect, if they're offering $50,000 for a lineman, what you're going to expect is LSU going to probably offer 55, 60. Then guess what's going to happen when LSU offer 55, 60? You know what's going to step up? They're tied themselves. They're going to offer
Jimmy,
75.
the Tide already. Hey, the Tide already getting that money out. You going on with that? You get all the Tide. Hey, the Tide. The guys at the Tide, they can pay them Texas linemen if they want to. I'm just telling you. Them dudes that get money.
They say a rising tide lifts all boats, literally.
Yes.
So now, here's what I want to ask you. Your son, Xavier Wheeler, does he have any name, image, likeness deals on the table?
Absolutely. He's already
what are you working with?
So he's had several different deals that he's already benefited from. He has a merchandise deal. We've signed, some autograph signings. He's got 2 or 3 other deals in the works now. With local companies, with automobile companies in the Kentucky area. But there's a consistent theme. There's a fast food chain that he just signed a contract with. There is a consistent theme. These companies, it's just a question of the scaling of those deals, right? He's got a hair product deal that he just signed with an all-black company that's based in Houston. But I'm going to allow those companies to do their
Really? Give him a
Absolutely.
name, Teddy. Let's give him a shout out.
Uncle Funky's daughter is Uncle Funky. Uncle Funky is a black
DJ.
Houston hair product line. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can now.
We went out, Hicks, for a second. Uncle Funky is a black-owned hair product company that's in Walmart, Target, CVS. A great family doing really, really, really good business, and they just did that deal over the last 30 days. So
and Teddy, hold up, Teddy, they cheating because Savia already had good hair. So
man, that ain't nothing.
He already had good hair, but they cheating a little bit.
Alan, that ain't nothing but ultra perm, man.
Yeah.
Like on that movie, ain't nothing but ultra perm.
These deals are exciting for those young men because it allows them to get inside corporate America, right, and flex their muscle. But it also allows them to build relationships that'll be consistent after they leave the field of sport. So when they're talking about not going pro, well, you have a relationship with the marketing department. You may have met the CEOs of these companies, and they tend to have a rollout plan. So a lot of those deals that have been signed in the last 30 days, the season started November 9th. So a lot of those deals that have been signed in the last 30 days, you'll start seeing them when the calendar turns, how these players across the country starting to post different things, or these brands start having commercials and things like that. But it's really cool because each of those industries have their own niche audience, and they may be introducing that player to a different audience that will allow them to have another impact or layer of touch point that they did not have previously. So that's the exciting part. But yes, Xavier is already making money, and he's not the only one. He's already paying his bills. He's already paying his car notes and things like that. So that's an exciting thing for him.
That's Jimmy. The best feeling in the world when you get that son out of your pocket. Now the daughter can stay in your pocket a little longer.
Facts.
You don't mind that, baby. You what you want. Right? Yeah.
Right.
But boy, when you can get that boy out your pocket. Well, I told y'all, Jimmy, remember that time I told you we went to Vegas? Me and Robin went to Vegas. He came to my room and gave me an envelope. I said, okay. I opened up the envelope. He gave me my credit card back. He said, Dad, I don't need yours no more. I got my own.
I like that.
I said, boy, I mess with you, dude. When he went out to college, I gave him the card. So, but my daughter, guess what? She ain't never getting that thing back. He said, get what she said? That's him. That ain't me. Yeah. I said, yeah, okay, all right. So, but I'm so proud of that, man. Somebody asked that question on here, and that was a great, great question. And I knew you were doing some stuff because I saw some little stuff. I remember the Unky Funky thing. I just didn't know how it pieced in. But hey, great job, man. Great job.
Now, I want to ask you, of course, last night we were able to go by at different times. I stopped by Rossi Karen had his product launch party yesterday evening at Tribeca, which is in the shadows of downtown in Edo. That's East Downtown for you guys that aren't familiar with Houston geographics. And that event, we stopped by there and fellowship with Teddy and Rossi and the families. And
Teddy, you must have came out there. I came and gone. You must have came out late, Teddy.
Because I wanted to make sure I had the room to shop properly and support Rossi's efforts. Now, here's what I'm going to ask you. The perfect name, image, likeness deal would be for Xavier Wheeler to sport some of that BU product that Rossi Karen launched. That would be the perfect way to give back to the program, which provided you the platform to travel all over the country when you played for the Adidas circuit. Sure. And what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. I mean, that's an organic connection because we are equity partners in Basketball University. So that's going to happen organically over a period of time. It's just, the timeline that we were working under doesn't necessarily fit Xavier where he's at Kentucky right now,
Gotcha.
But eventually that's going to happen. But, we were blood, sweat, and tears equity prior to this, to this new venture in
good.
terms of sports, athletic wear.
Mhm.
When Brasi and I first had our conversations, Basketball University, was a feeder program for another grassroots program, and the things that we accomplished in an 8 to 10 year span may never be accomplished again. So we have a long tenure relationship of success and prosperity, and we hope to continue that over a period of time. But right now, Xavier is concentrating on trying to win a national championship. So doing flying back in and doing those type of things is not geographically or logistical
All right.
at this point. But we'll get to that. We'll certainly get to that at some point. But Xavier if I got something going on, Xavier is a partner in what I do, and vice versa. We try to make sure that his head is free of clutter. He deals with academics. We run things by him. He has a full-time manager handling some of the stuff that off the court. He's got the same team of people that's been around him for 5 years, and that's an important thing. As I said, for kids to have a plan, a system in place that is consistent. So as they move up at level and move up in challenges, it really doesn't change. So he's still around the same people. We don't have a new core audience. We don't have a new circle. The circle remains the same. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
So
how many people is on the team?
Of our team?
Yeah.
Well, we have, I have a wife and 6 kids. So, obviously everybody whose last name is Wheeler is a part of that team. You know what I'm saying? But our family is pretty big. But as far as people making decisions, it's not very big. It's maybe 2 or 3. I mean, I got a core group of guys that I've been leaning on since I've started playing basketball. One of the guys will be here this weekend, who's bringing his OSL. He's not part of the team, but he's part of that scene up in New York. And obviously, Rob Lahalika does a great job. He's been helping us along the way. And Rossi's been a huge support and huge advocate for Xavier. So we still have the same touch points and the same people that that I take calls from as we try to navigate this new space as far as the pros and agencies and sorting out deals. But from a management standpoint, it's like we have one manager. From an agency standpoint, we'll have one agent. But as far as our core group, no, it's not a lot of people. It's the same familiar faces. Yeah.
I got a
and
question.
Since I'm involved in it full time, I think I offer a level of support that maybe the casual dad won't. You know what I'm saying? Because if I have to pivot away from something I'm doing, I'm willing to do that for my son. If I'm willing to jump on a plane to go take a meeting. I'm willing to call you up, Hicks, and say, hey, check this dude's resume. This dude on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to make those calls. And everybody's just a phone call away now with social media and people knowing, like, we can check references in 24 hours. So we don't have to have a bunch of people in our ear to kind of navigate this space. So that's the great thing about being at Kentucky too, right? Because, those guys have had experience dealing with high level players and people who are on the cusp of doing something great. So, we're grateful to have the resources that we have to not have to open our doors to a whole bunch of new people.
You mentioned something earlier. I want to step back to it. You talked about the rise of your 8-year run with BU.
Yeah.
And you made a comment that might not ever be duplicated again. Let me tell you something. I hope it is duplicated again. That's why I know you said I hope it is, because this city needs something like that and take it to a whole nother level. It might not do it the way y'all did it, but we need that kind of stuff. I remember when people were telling me about you had 300 people just show up to try out for your teams. We need that kind of excitement because it's crazy as hell out here. Anybody out here just getting a team and Junebug Jackson can get a team and little Johnny Bobo can get a. I mean, so it's But y'all had it was a movement. It was a movement.
Yeah.
It was a culture thing. I mean, the
Mhm.
parents. I used to watch. The parents were excited about, instead of the parents talking about every damn body, they were excited to help y'all work. They was repping
That's right.
y'all work the events and
That's
helping
right.
y'all work the thing. So it's just a unique thing. I hope that my words today, from my word, from my mouth to God's ears, I just hope somebody said, okay, let me get this model. That it's a void in this market of something like that. And man, I just wish it would come back. But I know,
Yeah.
Jimmy, we're gonna
First
have
of all,
to
it's going
land
to
this
take
plane.
an
Huh?
incredible amount. First of all, it's going to take an incredible amount of collaboration, right? You talked about collaborating. It's going to take a vision, and it's going to take execution, like a system. And you got to have real basketball people. Like, everybody's on Twitter, and not everybody who's on Twitter is really knowledgeable, right? Let's be fair. And so the guys who are on Twitter, may not be as knowledgeable as we were. And we're not young dudes. I'm over 40. I got a kid in college, like you said, so it's going to take an incredible level of expertise to go along with that. So the execution, the expertise, the vision, the planning, collaboration, all those things went into that. And so that's hard to duplicate.
Yeah.
I talked about this with Marlon Lowe, and he kind of, I'm using my words. I'm not saying this. This is what he said verbatim, but basically to paraphrase is like, now he can appreciate what we did for the city that he may have didn't really understand and maybe not been a proponent of, right? But now he understands the value of that, because had his son Jalen Lowe, who's good enough to be hated on, had he been playing with us, he would be, in a different space. But because there's a void that you guys are talking about, some of these kids are not as visible, not as recognized, don't have the notoriety nationally that was a layup for us, because we were intentional about doing it. And so, no, maybe we'll get back to it at some point. It's probably not this season.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just like I just said. I ain't saying duplicate it the way y'all did it, but it's some young
Right.
guys, it's some young guys out here in this community that's
I'll
got.
tell you one thing though, if it's somebody I would help who doesn't have, obviously, we can, lend our efforts to different programs.
Mm-hmm.
But for somebody who I would look at, if I was a young dad coming into the space that has some energy to go help, I would help Coach Ned at Texas Takeover. I think he got the right.
I never
He
met
got the right energy, the right spirit
Mm-hmm.
to really take something to the next level. He just need a little bit more help. I just don't know if I particularly have the time to do it. But he's a dude. He's a dude. And there's not many dudes out here. There's a lot of dudes on Twitter, but he's a dude to me.
Okay. I never had the pleasure of meeting.
And actually, Coach Ned actually started with the Houston Raptors program, and they were together as Rossi and Marlon Lowe was once in a time. I think were together, and they end up spurning out on their own. But Coach Ned with the Texas Takeover, that program is growing and has, as you just mentioned a while ago, they have players, a multitude of players who are good enough to be hated on. And, and I don't think there's no other program that had a more, a better crop of what ended up being unsigned seniors than that Texas Takeover. They're getting it done.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, Jimmy, because I don't understand players to be hated on. I'm gonna put that.
No, I say good enough to be hated on.
Players good enough to be hated on.
That means some people might say, "Man, you hate on me," and your response would be, "Negro, you ain't good. You hate on things that's good. I don't hate on you. You ain't good enough to be hated on."
Oh,
so that's what Teddy meant by saying that. We good enough.
Right.
His son is Marlon Lowe's son. Jalen Lowe is good enough to be hated on. That's a compliment.
Oh,
correct.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
I like that.
Good enough to be hated.
And so now, once again, of course, this weekend, the Stars and Stripes basketball event, will be taking place December the 10th and the 11th at Houston Christian High School. Teddy, invite them all out and tell them how they can get tickets and everything else for this event this weekend.
Yes, it's the 4th iteration of this event, Stars and Stripes. Really proud of the field of teams that we've garnered coming up here. We got teams coming from Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and as far away as New York, and really high-level players, high major dudes, high major recruits. And the idea of this event started with, this is an opportunity for stars to earn their stripes on the court. And you earn your stripes by playing against guys who are your counterparts, about earning your reputation. No fluff, really sharp, iron sharpening iron, having some really high-level games, high-level competition. Multiple top 100 kids on this list of teams, multiple high major offers that'll be represented, multiple schools with kids being recruited and commitments. We'll have that information of who these stars are, and hopefully they can come down to Houston and earn another level of reputation for themselves on the campus of Houston Christian. Our event jumps off 3:30 p.m. on Friday, December 10th, with Prestonwood facing Woodlands Christian. These are two TAPS powerhouses, and we'll go into the 8 o'clock game with Houston Christian Zone playing against Crosby and that flamethrower PJ Haggerty. There'll be some good games in between. Excel and McKinney. John Paul II has a USA U16 kid, Liam McNeely. RJ Jones, who's a top 60 point guard, going against Austin Nunez, who's a fabulous scoring guard. I watched him grow up. He never disappoints. I'm excited about that. We got some other really good games on Saturday, and they culminate with the 5 o'clock game with St. Pius Girls, who has an All-American caliber girl at their school with playing against the Houston Christian girls. And I don't want to misspell anybody's name, mispronounce anybody's names, but we're going to get that information to you out really shortly here. So we're excited about it.
I like that.
Can't wait to see you guys. It's $10 to get in. We're not going to beat you in the head too hard. Come bring your family. Come see some high-level games. The officials are handpicked by me. We don't want no bad officials out there. So we got the best refs in the city. People who ref high-level games and championship-level games. Is not, we're not going with the shortcut on that end either. We got the best refs in the city.
Awesome.
Come and officiate our games. So we're going to keep you guys abreast about that information in regards to, matchups and who should you be looking for, what number they are, and so you can kind of get a who's who or what you'll be viewing. But can't wait to do it once again. This is an exciting moment for us as a school, and exciting to have our girls being showcased with this level of intentionality. We want to make sure we have a level of inclusion and diversity here at Houston Christian.
I want to see the girls. I want to see.
Unbelievable. Logan Johnson is big time. She got a chance to be McDonald's All-America.
Okay.
And Tiaja has been killing it, and they're both Cy-Fair elite girls. They were on ESPN this summer as sophomores playing 17. So they're two of the best girls in the country, and they're on the Houston Christian girls side. So
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I'll get you guys that information so you can post and move forward with this information. But really exciting. I'm grateful to you guys continuing to give me a platform to come discuss what I'm doing. I'm not the big social media guy just by my age, but I understand that that's a part of the world we live in right now. So I got to use my resources to make sure people know it, even behind closed doors. So I'm excited about this week coming up.
Man, I got to share this with the people. I never forget we coming over to Jimmy and I coming over to Houston Christian with Xavier committed to Georgia. I'll never forget it, man. That was one of the first times I think we did it on a location like that. And
on location.
On location. I said
on
on location like that. And man, I'll never forget it. Great. And now we come full circle. He off into college. Now you got another baby. He was running around there. Now Montana is playing, man. So
Montana, he got me excited again. Because you know, Jim, this thing long enough, you kind of lose excitement with some of these ungrateful folks. But he got me excited. Excitement about coaching them. Right. Excitement about being around the game that I love and watching him blossom, because he's not going to be today. He's a heck of a player.
Right.
Heck of a player. Definitely. So hopefully, you know what I mean, the city can appreciate some of the things that we got going on, and come support it, because you know this is for the culture, right?
Get us out of here, Jimmy.
And from what I heard, that team from New York, right? Our Savior Lutheran.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they have 3 freshmen that's 6'9" a sophomore that's about 6'9"
Yes.
a 12th grader that's a 7-footer.
Uncommitted.
Whoa, what?
And they got a combo guard, Jaquan Sanders. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And he gonna play against who?
Jaquan, he's about 6'2",
Hold on,
6'3".
I got to put that schedule back up now. Y'all done made. I got to put that damn schedule back up now.
They got 3 freshmen that's about 6'8". They got a sophomore that's about 6'9", and they got a 12th grader that's a 7-footer.
That kid, that game against JP2 is gonna be fireworks. I'm sitting in the Spike Lee section. If y'all come and sit in the Spike Lee section with me, popcorn is on me.
Hold up.
There you go, man.
Hold up, Jimmy. How many times they play? You know I'm looking. They play twice.
They play once each day.
Yeah.
I was in a showcase. We don't do tournaments. You know, I'm more of a showcase guy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a one-off type guy. I'm more sensitive to the players. You know, you get your best. You got one game, get it in. Let's go.
Hold up, Teddy. 6'9", 7 foot.
Yeah, that's how they coming, and it's confirmed.
I guess I have me a few more nephews after this weekend.
Hey, you know, that means that's the harder they fall when they come to Texas. They about to get a Texas 2-step put on their big toe, but that's what's about to happen. They're gonna you set them up, Teddy. They're gonna feel like you set them up.
That's exactly it. So we're going to have a good, clean, fun, well officiated, fun environment, good music.
I can't wait.
Hopefully above the rim action, 3 balls, ISOs, and some good wins.
3 balls and ISO. You're talking like a coach now.
Kevin Frankman, one of your referees?
Hell no.
Who's that?
Kevin Frankman.
Who's that?
Kevin Frankman. Oh, that's on
That's
the
not a
boom,
name.
boom, boom, boom.
He one of
That's
your
not a
refs.
name
One of your refs?
It's not a name I'm familiar with.
Hell no, he ain't. No, Teddy.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny that.
Teddy, I know you ain't got him. Teddy, I know you ain't got him. But he gonna try to sneak in. Hey, Eddie, he gonna try to sneak in with his outfit, with his ref uniform on though. So you gotta watch him. You gotta watch him though. Hey, but Teddy, hold up. But I know one person you got. You gotta have Boone. You gotta have my man Boone.
Boone is the best referee, or at least top 3 in the city, and he's not 3.
Hello. He's the best.
Top 3 and not 3.
Hello.
Hey, that's a good thing. Now, lastly, Teddy, before we get up out of here, we gotta land this plane real quick. In the scale of things in Greater Houston, in the scale of grassroots basketball.
Right.
What is your envision? How can things, because you mentioned earlier, you said the word some ungrateful parents.
People. He said people.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? What's a solution? It may not be the solution. What's a couple of solutions for grassroots basketball?
I want to hear this.
Greater Houston.
Well, I think it starts with something, you know, I don't know who said the word, maybe I said it, one of you gentlemen said it, but talked about collaboration and having a healthy respect for each other's space and what we've accomplished individually. And I think collectively we can get more accomplished. I mean, if we're just being honest, it may be 10, maybe 20 at best individuals in the city who can move the needle. And some of us can move the needle further, you know, with the conversation, right? I may be able to only move it a yard and somebody else can move it 5 yards. But if I can get that person to move it 5 yards after, that saved me maybe 5 years. It maybe saved me two summers. And so just have a level of collaboration and respect because I think we all are in it for the right reasons. I think there's a love for the game. I think there's a level of opportunity for the people that's involved in it. And I think we have to have, some level of compromise as well. And so, some of the parents are ungrateful as they're being led by the people who are not qualified to move the needle, right? Who can't do some of the things that they may try to get you to think that they can do on Twitter. And see, Twitter has become such a vehicle for people to voice opinions and say things and you could trick some people who are not knowledgeable. And so what I'm trying to do, or what I would like to do in the ideal world, is to get people to respect some of the things that people have accomplished, that have a voice, that have accomplished some things, that have credibility in the space. Okay, let's continue to serve and be able to be helpful to those people, so those things could stand as monuments. It's hard to get where some of these people are at, right? It's hard to get where RCS is at after I don't know how many years. When I got here, Xavier played in Spring Icebreaker, right? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get there. It's hard to do some of the things that some of the guys who are now in position to be able to do, i.e. like a Marcus Sloan to be able to do in a short period of time. But we don't need to be clashing. I don't see nobody clashing with them other people when they do stuff. I think there's a healthy level of respect. And I think for most part, if we have a greater spirit of collaboration, I think the city will be stronger. It's more important for our city to have multiple players. You said this, I think it was, I don't know if I was just listening to the program or I was a guest, but having 3 or 4 guys, no matter how it shake out, we just pushing those 3 or 4 guys. You said this, Hicks, like, let's get behind these 3 or 4 guys every class, because that's what it should look like. If you look at the landscape of a high major basketball, it's littered with Houstonians. You look at the guys who are leading these different, like the best players at each position, you can find a Houston kid. So we don't have to be kind of divide and conquer. We can celebrate each other's events. We can clear the traffic where there's nothing on those days, so we can come support each other and show visible support. So that way, when somebody who's an outsider, who may be a national media guy, comes down, they see we're all supporting each other. So we have a level of unity that's on display, right? There's awareness that, I may like Chris Paul, you may like Steph Curry, you may like Kyrie, but we can agree these 3 are the dudes. You know what I'm saying? And there's no exact science to this. We're going to have some differences of opinion, but I think I stand for that. And, I stand for collaboration. I stand as a Black man that understands that we don't have to be at war with each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. We can get more accomplished if we're standing together. And that's how I live my life. There may be things that people agree with everything I've done, but I've always tried to be honorable. I've always tried to stand for what's right and try to be a help and a resource to someone else. And in turn, people have been a resource to me. And so that's the ideal for our city. And I think we're getting there. I think we're further along. I think we've had some hiccups, but they're few and far between. Sometimes people clash at the top, and the United Nations got to step in and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like we could do better than this. Like we could move on from this. There ain't no casualties in this thing yet. So let's move forward. And so that's the ideal for me. And if I can be a resource, I don't need to be on front page, but I just want to get that thing done before we all move to another space. And what are we leaving behind?
Wow. Teddy, before you get off, I don't want to keep, but that was so profound. But I heard you works with my favorite player. You works with Money Mike. Didn't nobody tell me that you was working with Mike Collins? That's my nephew. That's my main man. Huh?
He is a play. I love him. If I'm coming back to grassroots, he's gonna be on my team. I tell you that.
Hey, I'm thinking about getting a team. I'm thinking about sponsoring another team too, Teddy. For Money Mike, I'm gonna put my money on Money Mike. I can tell you that. Jimmy, you can shake your head all you want to. That's my man. Hey, Teddy, I'm gonna collaborate with the whole city to make sure Money Mike get it right. How about that?
Yeah.
Now,
I love that kid. He works hard with me. It's been about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and but he's progressing. He's on pace. I like the family. The family come in. Yeah. Just kind of stay out the way. Yes. But allow him to be coached. He's looking for information. He's competitive. He got good genetics. You know, he's a tough kid. He competes. His skill level going to another level. So yeah, I'm excited about what his future holds, and I'm gonna help him. There's no question about that.
And me too. And Jimmy, you too. You can over there grin all you wanna. You got it best with my man, Money Mike. Hey, Teddy, this why he over there sniggling. When he was in about fifth or sixth grade, I came on here bragging about him then, right? Jimmy, don't be talking about no sixth grader. Don't be talking about no seventh grader. Don't be. He in the ninth grade now, Jimmy. I can talk about him now. He's a player. That's my boy.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, he's at Shadow Creek High School getting down. I went and watched him play on this past Friday evening. Shadow Creek beat Summer Creek. They were up by, I think, 13 points in the first quarter and held off a late rally from Summer Creek, who tied it up in the fourth quarter, and Shadow Creek prevailed 71-65 in that win. I don't think Lil Mike, I don't think he scored in that game. Mm-hmm. The other freshman, Bryce Jackson, he came out quickly with 2 3-pointers and a layup to score all 8 of his points in the first quarter. That was very much unexpected, probably from the Summer Creek defense for this freshman. He had 2 threes from the far corner and to open that lead up. And so this young cat,
25 is strong in Houston. 2025 is strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love 24.
Uh-huh.
I love, of course, in the class of 2023, you mentioned about 4 players. And 4 players in the class of 2023. That's the what do you call it? No, if you ever played in the band, they call it first chair. Yeah. That's what they call it, equivalent of first string in the band. Yeah. So the first chair of Greater Houston, that's a quartet. And you try to find it 4. In some cases, it may very well be a 5th one. But right now, the no-brainer 4 in no particular order in Greater Houston. These are 11th graders. Of course, you got Wesley Yates.
Okay, no brainer.
You got Chris Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Right. You got Jalen Lowe. You got Jacob Cole.
Check.
That's your fearless foursome from Greater Houston.
Gotcha.
And that ticket,
Keanu Dawes. It's a quintet. Keanu Dawes.
I got to see him play. I've never seen him play.
The thing about Dawes, the thing about Dawes is that his egg will hatch in due time. Those guys there have tested. You follow me? And remember, he had to play reserve. He had to play a reserve role in grassroots basketball.
Where he play at? What school, Jimmy?
Stratford.
Oh, I've been hearing about him.
Yeah.
So this guy, he would come. Those guys. See, that's the whole thing.
I'm listening.
Those guys that I just mentioned. See, here's the thing. This is what happens. If we name 5, then it's going to be a 6.
Okay.
Then we name 6, then it's going to be a 7. And then we just got to accept it. It's these the 4.
When
is Stratford? Hey, I got to go see this kid play immediately.
Only thing is in basketball you play with 5. So that's why I always say pick the 5.
Oh. Okay.
In that class right now, I'm talking the 4 because 3 of those
4 you're going to push
over the magazine.
Oh,
right.
And I mentioned Jalen Lowe because Jalen Lowe just, when you know me, how my rule of thumb, when it comes down to the point guards,
you got to win.
You are judged by what?
You got to win.
Your wins. And so he just won a championship in a solid tournament. Jalen Lowe did. Chris Marshall did not suit up the whole weekend. So mind you, this is Marshall without Chris Marshall. And Jalen Lowe scored 40 twice this past weekend. That's guess what?
That's getting super busy.
I want to see. You know what, Jimmy? And Teddy probably have worked this kid out and saw what he can do. And he done seen him in an more intimate environment than you and I have. So he got knowledge that we wouldn't have. So I understand where he coming from, but I know what you saying too. So I just can't wait. Hey, I got another guy I got to go see now.
That means understand. And there's another guy that's working out another kid somewhere on the other side of town that may have another guy to. That's why I say it has to be
that other guy may not be 6'8" and he can dribble, pass, and shoot like Keanu does.
And he's 6'8".
Dribble, pass, shoot.
Man, I got to see him. I got to see him.
I got to initiate the break, pass.
Understand something, Teddy. So think about this. There's a young man that's leading the whole city in scoring that just scored 48 points last week.
PJ Haggerty?
Another 40 the week before that.
PJ Haggerty?
We're not even mentioning his name. He's in the same class. You could make a case for him to be in that fifth chair as well.
Who?
If this, once again, and his team could very well go to state. They're my favorite right now to go to state.
Who is this kid?
From the Houston area.
That's not PJ.
That's Booker T. Washington High School because Silsby just lost both of their big men. Both big men from Silsby are out for the year. So this Silsby team, they have nothing in the middle. Booker T. Washington has Kenneth Lewis. Kenneth Lewis is averaging about 35 a game. And
he didn't do nothing when I went to the game, though. So he didn't do nothing. You remember when I went to the season opener, he didn't do nothing.
In the season opener, the sophomores stole the thunder between Jaquil and the big fella. Now, Kenneth Lewis had a modest, like maybe 18, 20, somewhere in that range.
I can't wait.
Those sophomores stole the thunder.
I can't wait. Hey, thank you. I'm going to see. Well, I done seen your guy, Jimmy. I can't wait to go see. What his name? Say his name again.
His name is Keanu Dawes.
Keanu Dawes. That's my. Hold up. I done put him on my. Hey, when I put him in his phone, he in the building.
Yeah.
And that's the. And so
you may not be the only one in the building. The dudes in the upper left hand corner with suits on. You know what they about.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know. Okay, say no more. Say no more.
And that's understand, and that's the trajectory, and that's the thing that most people do that I don't do. Trajectory for the next level. That's not what I do. It's never been what I do.
Jimmy. That's why I'm listening to Teddy. I'm listening to Teddy.
My report card on the player is going to be based on what you did this last 6 weeks.
What he did.
Are you winning? If you ain't winning, you better be putting up some numbers.
Gotcha.
Period.
Right.
If you ain't putting up numbers, then guess what? We got to wait till you get to the summer season. Put up some numbers or win. Then otherwise, I can't pay attention to you right now. This dude scored 40 a couple of times. I'm paying attention to that.
I'm paying attention to it too. But Keanu, and what's your other kid? Lewis, you two dudes, Robert Hatter I'm finna look at y'all now. I'm sorry. I'm finna look at y'all. So tell your parents when I come to the game, I'm not coming to see you lose. I'm just coming to see you play. Like they did me last week. But
and of course, speaking of Booker T. Washington, give a shout out to Tack Miner, who's on the feed earlier. He works for the government, and they are honoring. They mean Booker T. Washington. They are going to play Clear Lake. I don't know if Clear Lake has ever played Booker T. Washington at Booker T. Washington in the history of the school. So they're playing them on Tuesday evening, and the school is going to honor Tack Miner in a jersey ceremony. That's 7 p.m. tip time at Booker T. Washington High School. They've rebuilt that whole school if you haven't been over that way in the last year or so. That's just like Yates has been rebuilt. Booker T. Washington, you wouldn't know it if you passed by. It is a magnificent. Their gymnasium is so big; it has 3 courts in it, side by side. That's how big their gym is. So it's gonna be a nice crowd.
I'm finna get off because Herb Baker finna put it. He said, "Kid, I ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna talk about that baby on this show, Jimmy. Let's get off the show. Let's get off the show right now."
Yeah, and of course we're gonna get off and land the plane. But once again, shout out to Tack Miner. And Tack was on earlier, Teddy. He sent you an invite. He said, "Can you tell Teddy to come on out and support him?"
Tuesday.
What day is on? Jimmy, what's day?
Tuesday, December the 7th. That's
tomorrow, Jimmy. That's tomorrow.
Hey, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Tell Tack I'll be
Houston Christian don't play tomorrow. They off.
I'll be there.
So Tack posted it on the feed. You guys to come out and support that memorable moment. You have to realize
I'll be
class
there,
of 2023. And I'm going to tell you on tomorrow, we're going to do a rendition because I'm going to take you guys through a list. I'm going to go and do some homework, and I'm going to find a list of the top, maybe either the top 10 or the top 15 point guards who were under 6 feet tall in high school when they were graduated high school. When they graduated high school, that's the key. Not in the 9th grade, not in the 10th grade. Kids grow. By the time they graduated high school or make it when they got to college, they were still under 6 feet tall.
Okay.
I will come up with that list, and that would be our way of kind of doing a tribute towards a Tack Minor on tomorrow, because he was definitely on that list of those.
And Jimmy, you better tell Kenneth Lewis, I'm gonna be in the house tomorrow night. You done talked all of that smack. I'm gonna be there tomorrow night. You better tell Kenneth Lewis, he better show up tomorrow night.
I know one thing. I know one thing. If Kenneth Lewis ain't supposed to score no 40 on Clear Lake, hell, the team better not gonna barely get 40 against them.
Clear Lake ain't one of them kind. They ain't. Oh no. That's all right. I'm going to see Tack. We'll see you later, Teddy. Thank you, man. Get us out of here, Jimmy.
Hey, that time, you got to go to work, man. Don't forget the Stars and Stripes basketball event, December 10th and 11th over at Houston Christian. Go and support Teddy, guys. Of course, go and give him a follow. Follow Xavier Wheeler as well. Great job, Teddy. We'll be back in 22 hours on the Chop Shop. We got to get you guys to share the show on your way out the door. Please do so. Make sure we can help us as we strengthen our footprint on social media. Share the show on your way out the door. For Robert Haller, this Jim Hicks. I tip my lid to you. What's in your cup right now, guys? It's time for me to go refill mine. Hey,
T.
We ain't fine. Our coach ain't leaving.
T.
Hey. Our coach ain't leaving.
Man, shut up. Bye, man. We out. Bye, and stop it, Herd. It's coming. It's coming. Jimmy, it's coming. Don't worry about it. Hey, something is going. It don't even want to get out.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.